today has been. It's been a wonderful day, honestly. We are at $20,000, which I would say all three of us have contributed to thus far, Forrest the least. And it's been awesome. I mean, Matt and Daryl together did the first 5K, and then Matt did the next 4K.
Wow.
Right. Yep. And then the other shows without Forrest got us to about 16K. Two of those were mine. And then you guys did hey guys, it was an impressive 4K. It was impressive.
And just to be clear, when Matt did the original 5K, that was an entire dedicated several hour long call-in show with him and Daryl Ray, right? That was I'm looking at a 3 hour long show. 3 hours.
Three. Okay, 3.
Yeah. So I in 90 minutes was able to get about $4,000, almost that much.
Right. Out of yours,
to be fair, though,
combined millions of followers.
To be fair, though, most of the donations came in after I had the idea for Austin to shave half of his mustache, and that prompted several $1,000s.
That did.
And Matt, also, how much of your initial amount was reliant on Misty Nipples to give you a full $1,000 donations? How many of those did you get?
Don't fucking downplay Misty Nipples as if they didn't come in the clutch and do something incrable.
Misty's been donating the whole day too. But did Misty donate the most to you? Yeah, so I'm a little hurt.
I'm okay with saying that Austin Archer did most of the work, and it is his fault that we raised as much as we did. I think that's totally fair to say. I refuse to accept that I've done a worse job than you. I think Matt has outplayed me. I think that Austin Archer has outplayed me. I think you, sir, can fuck right off. And that is, I've at least done as much work as you in the brief time that I've had.
Yeah, for sure. In fact,
I would take the night off, except that, it doesn't help us. I don't trust these guys to raise a fucking penny without me.
Let's say we hit it, we raise $100,000. That's what everyone will take away. Like the lead up, everything, the amount of work for this charity event. Forrest definitely did as much as Jimmy. I know that's what I'll be telling people. I'll be saying that.
Yeah.
Daryl
Forrest did as much as Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's the three key takeaways. Forrest did as much as Jimmy, and Austin and Matt did more than both of them. And the third one is just how pleasant of a company we all are, and just how much everybody appreciates us.
You should probably put me and Austin together at some point tomorrow to pick up the slack when you guys fuck this up.
Arden, do you hear how they're not even putting you on the board at all?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something, but I was like, I'll let the clown show persist. Maybe that'll get us some more donuts.
I'm sorry. What dollar amount did you raise?
Oh, we've been saying work. He said amount of work, and so I was running with work.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just to be clear, talking about which person put the most bricks in to build the house is one thing, when we all should be thanking the good Lord Jesus for keeping the whole earth together for the house to stand on. And that is what Arden is to us. Arden is the one making the whole show happen so that we can bicker about who has done the most work on the show.
Well, speaking of which, the Jesus Christ Hour also raised more money than you. Because we had a Jesus Christ Hour today. I don't know if you know that. So
I didn't.
Yeah. We did Jesus, myself, and Promise. We started the whole thing, and we gave out. So we did combinations of blessings. If people sent a certain amount of money, they could get a blessing from Jesus. If they got a different amount of money, they could get a tariff exemption from Trump. We're going to give you a tariff exemption. Most of the tariff exemptions rhymed with the names of the people who did the blessing. So that was a fun one. And then on Promises, she would just say a Finnish swear word. That was her blessing. Nice. She blessed with the. All right, people, let's talk about what we're doing here tonight. We are still raising money. Today is the pre-show day. Tomorrow is the even bigger event, but we have done as a tradition now, this is our third year, a golden microphone night prior to the show, where we do a fun little game where we're going to take calls and questions. And right now you see 3 golden mics on the screen. That means all 3 of us are allowed to talk. I have created a new gimmick this year that I think is going to add some chaos and fun to the whole thing. We'll get to that in a minute. But essentially what's going to eventually happen is the microphone will go down to 1 mic. You could show that right now, Arden. Just put it on me for the moment. It's going to go down to one mic.
Put it on me, damn it.
You can't be talking. But when certain goals are hit, the microphone, as you just saw, might be moved from one place to another place. You can go back to all three now. I'm a benevolent lord. Anyway, it's not even the right word. As we go, there's two gimmicks to it. I'll tell you the first one. Every time we pass a $500 mark, it's going to automatically move to the right. So anytime, right now we're at 20,000. If we hit 20,500, whoever it's on, it's going to move to the right. The secondary gimmick is going to be the more fun one. It's going to create the most chaos, and I will tell you about that in a minute. But before we get to that, we're going to do a different kind of drive. We're going to do an algorithm drive, because right now, the most important thing that anybody watching can do is help us get this in front of more people, because more people means more potential donos. So our first drive is going to be, let's click like, everybody. And I know a lot of people who are here watching, if you have not, if you aren't able to donate, that is totally fine. If you're here for the entertainment, you can still contribute, and you can go ahead and click that like button. Also, I've been talking to our YouTube rep. It turns out that anything that causes more clicks and things are good. So I would also like everybody in the chat to just type the name of which of the three of us is their favorite host. I know that's not going to be good for me. I know that's going to make me feel like shit, but I don't care. Everyone, and by the way, if you don't usually write in the live chat, go ahead and hit it. And by the way, the line, I want to say the line is also, I would like to also point out that that's my favorite too, even though I didn't type that. Arden wins for me as well. Again, now some of you are saying promise. It is amongst the three of us, plus maybe Arden a little bit. Even if you don't usually chat, we want to see you in the chat. Just spam who it is you like. I think I got my one Jimmy for the night. And thank you so much for the person who said, let's go, Jimmy. So we're spamming that. We're spamming the like button. The last thing I'm going to ask you all is just to share this somewhere. Pick one place and share it. Hit the share button, or you can take a screenshot if you're on your phone, go put it on your story somewhere. Tell people this is where we are. This is the link that's happening, that we're playing a game, and it's really going to annoy people. Okay, now I've seen like 3 or 4 people say me. I believed one. I think we're starting to encourage lying.
Jimmy Tommy Dillahunty is great.
That's Jimmy. You're never gonna stop Jimmy Tommy. At least Tommy makes sense. It's the fewer letters than Thomas. We were pointing out earlier how funny it is that Jimmy is short for James. Explain that nonsense.
I think about that all the time with World Wide Web being shortened into www. It's easier to just say World Wide Web. It's literally a third of the syllables.
But yeah, people used to say it out loud. Now we don't even say it. What happened to us? We don't even say www anymore. Anyway, that's stupid.
What the world is, what's the world coming to?
We're getting, so the little algorithm boost, very much appreciate it. I'll click like over here on my end as well. We're boosting that algorithm. We're getting this out to more people, and we're making sure that by hitting these clicks and typing, and for people who don't usually participate, the more you participate the night, the more it is going to show up in other people's feeds. So please do that. Last couple of rules. First of all, a reminder of what the goals are. $60,000 is our official goal. However, I believe we have secured what our price matching is going to be. If everything is in order, when we start tomorrow, we're probably going to be upping the goal to $75,000, because I think we have $25,000 of matching funds to play with through the day. Meaning if we raise 50, then we're basically getting 25. But how those are released are going to be different, changing. And to tell you the truth, when I see that and I see we did 69 last year, my goal is really becoming 100,000. Remember, at $100,000, I do a thing I've not done it on purpose as an adult ever, and never in my 30s. I'm shaving from the ears to the clavicle. Y'all, for 100 grand to charity, I'm going to be ugly as fuck. Second, if somehow we super stretch the goal to $150,000, that logo everybody shits on, we'll get rid of it. If you really hate the logo, 150,000. By the way, if you'd like to communicate that that's why you're donating, it's very simple. We've just made the rule. Anybody who ends their donation in a 6, you're also rebuking the logo. $6, $16, $26, $36, $46. That is a rebuke of the logo. 60. Well, okay, thanks. Matt is going to be making his bids a rebuke of the logo. I get it. I fucking get it.
You haven't even explained the bids yet.
That's all right.
Let's explain the bids. Here's
that
how
was the
Golden
segue.
Mike. That was the perfect transition. If Forrest hadn't fucked it up like the donations, we would be fine. Okay, so we are doing an auction system tonight. If let's say that I have the solo golden mic, let's show them what that would look like right now. I'll put my sign down. Let's say I'm the only one with the golden mic. There we go. If I'm the only one with the golden mic, these two individuals are going to be holding up signs. Let's show them what that would look like with certain dollar amounts on it. And it's a little bit funny and stuff because then we're going to see how people compete and how much they think. Here's how it's going to work. The first person to get their bid in exact dollar amounts from the chat, and you can pull it down and erase it and change it if you feel like you're not doing it. As soon as they get their bid, they will say the words, "Shut up." And everybody else has to stop talking, and they then get to begin talking. Now, if multiple bids come in at the same time, it's whatever is the most recent one is the one who wins, and everybody probably yells "shut up" at each other. So we are doing an auction system. Yes, it will also change every $500 just to add another level of chaos, but it's up to you. We'll be holding up signs and we'll be trying to get you to pass the mic to us as we take calls. Now, otherwise, as far as kinds of calls we are going with, you are welcome to call in about anything related to skepticism, anything related to science, anything related to Forrest's expertise, because won't it be fucking hilarious if Forrest is being asked a biology question and Matt or I are the one getting to answer it? Hilarious.
I will fucking freak out. I will actually like drive down to Austin and strangle something. I'm gonna lose it.
He said that, but he also has said he doesn't want to be the face of when we're doing our course on this channel on a 101 to evolution course. And I've decided I'm going to be the face of it to annoy him so that he goes, okay, I'll do it after the fact. Yep.
I've got so many other things going on, man. I'm just so tired. I'm so fucking stressed. I will tell you this. I just to be clear, anytime Jimmy is talking, I will be holding up a dollar amount. And if you want him to stop, all you have to do is donate that exact amount of money. And the second we see it pop in the chat, I'll be taking it. So like, just keep it in mind that you can take away his power at any point. You can make him stop. All you have to do is just give money to Recovering from Religion in the exact amount that we choose. That's it.
And then my pitch would be this. If what you're here for is the same thing that I and Matt are here for, but not Forrest, is most importantly to see money go up and not hear ourselves talk, you can keep taking the mic back from him because you know people will keep paying to give it back. So you can be the counter Forrest. That is going to keep taking the mic away from Forrest because you know Forrest is going to keep getting people like, we can keep the mic moving and keep it away from him and raise so much money. At this point,
the more it moves, the funnier it will be.
At this point, you and I are becoming so insufferable that we have to start the actual event because at this point, people are going to pay for us to shut up. I will say, yeah, go on.
Let's say that the current total right now is $20,249.
Yeah.
What if it gets up to $20,499 and then someone donates $66? That both crosses a 500 line, which moves the mic and meets my goal. Do I win, or does it move twice?
It moves twice.
God damn you.
Because it'll also be, I'm looking forward to when somebody does a 66 and then like he had 69, you got a 66, a 69, a 69, a 66. I'm looking forward to people getting fucked on this thing. That's why
I am ready. I have my sheets.
I think we're going
and
to
I'm ready to explain everything about biology. I mean, I guarantee you have Erica and Forrest will have nothing on the shit I will educate you about when it comes to biology.
I'm just going to explain how rich Jimmy is. I'm going to spend the whole time talking about how much money Jimmy Snow has and how big his house is.
I hope you'll be honest this time because you made my life worse last time after lying so much. Okay.
It's not possible. You're so fucking rich. Why would you care if we made your life worse?
His life couldn't be worse. He wipes his ass with $100 bills.
I have to wear our own merch. That's how fucking poor I am.
Because he's so dedicated to earning money all the time.
Yep.
Everybody, if you will put down your first offer, and I just want to point this out to people who are thinking, who do they want to have the mic? We have a theist waiting on the line who wants to talk about auras being the visual perception of biological field generated by people, and apparently wants it to go to Forrest. Has everyone written down what their opening bid is? As soon as one of us gets this,
can we do that, Jimmy?
Yeah.
If there's a caller who specifically wants to talk to one of the three of us, can the caller donate the amount that we have up to guarantee that they get to talk to that person?
That's a guy. Or at least
if
start
they're
on
smart
that
about
person.
it, they could figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do it because we don't have a chat way to keep track of it.
True,
I guess it's kind of also a thing of like, if you call in, let the screener know who you're hoping to get, because that might affect what the screener does with what the host does with their turn. Mm-hmm. I'd say that's probably the thing to encourage people with. Does that work?
I'm down.
I'm down.
That's fine.
All right. Everybody want to show their opening bid? First one to get it is going to be the first one with a solo mic. I opened my bid at a measly $38 because I know I'm not worth much.
I did 52.
38, 42, 52.
I am the middle way and the answer to life, the universe, and everything. If somebody doesn't immediately donate $42, y'all suck.
I think I have to go find a pad because I'm not rich, but if I'm the only one holding up an iPad, people are going to be...
I was about to say, I've got a cheap whiteboard and Matt's got his pen and paper and you're over here with this fancy fucking thing looking like an art student in your mansion with 80 rooms.
We got 38. Goes to Jimmy.
Oh boy. Well, first of all, I want to address the mansion with my 30 use. I've actually recently moved to a smaller home. And let me tell y'all, if you think that being sick makes you a lot of money, it doesn't. But I will tell you this. Being arrogant.
Jimmy,
I'm sorry. Shut up. Somebody donated $42 because nobody needs to hear you talk about how you downgraded from one mansion to a slightly smaller mansion. I mean, it's bizarre that some of us are desperate to possibly get out of Texas in order to keep ourselves safe in this rough environment. And Jimmy's just hopping from house to fucking house in Texas, constantly just giving money to the state. He's a bad actor, I'm telling you. And the way to resolve that is to donate more money to recoveringfromreligion.org. Now, we all saw what happened on Wednesday night.
Shut up. I just got a $50 donation there. I just want to really stress the fact that the housing market is insane right now, and people can't buy houses if they've been saving for them. Like, to get any kind of a house is insane. I can't imagine what it'd be like to own a home right now. And Jimmy had a fucking mansion with rooms to spare. He had a room with one studio in it and a different room with a different studio in it and one room just for the trash between studios, just extra camera equipment. And now he was able to buy another house and move all of his fancy studio equipment there just to save money. He's miserly. He's saving money. And he wears the merch because he has access to it. It's just something that he wants to promote and he wants to sell and get more people to buy. So keep Jimmy Snow rich, I guess. Join the Line Patreon. Let's talk for a second to Lee, pronoun she, her, calling in from tremendous narcs. Just large people selling you out, who wants to talk about auras as the visual perception of the bioelectrical field generated by people, whatever that means. Lee, you're on the line with Forrest and only Forrest. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing fine. Can you hear me well?
Lee, can you hear us?
Oh, hold on.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay.
It might be my fault. There is a...
Okay, shut up. Shut up. No, sorry, not Arden, but Forrest says shut up. Lee, I'm going to put you back on hold because I need to defend myself. Yes, okay, I got another one. Good. Okay, I, first of all, do not own either home. Second, I moved to a smaller home because I needed to be closer to a medical center. The only thing I have less of than money now is weight. As you can see, it has nothing to do. Nope, $25 was the minimum. You agreed to the rules beforehand, Forrest. How dare you? How dare you try to hurt? Yeah, you did. How dare you try to hurt? That's talking to you. Shut up in that way. You silent shut up. And now you have to go at least higher than, nope, you can't have the same one as somebody else. I absolutely am not rich. And I moved for medical reasons and I don't own the house. And I will say also, I lived in rural Texas where I was able to get a house for me and my dog with a yard for less money than I was paying for a 2-bedroom apartment in Denver. That is the actual reality. And
shut up.
Okay.
I can't believe you all let Jimmy go on for that long. I'm going to stop being rude to the caller. Lee, I apologize for the shenanigans that are going on here. Welcome to the show, Lee from Tennessee. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Can you hear me well?
I'm fat, dumb, and happy.
I'm going to have to say shut up because I now have the mic because Albert just donated $27.
Forrest, can you hear
are
Lee?
you there? I cannot hear
I'm
Lee.
here.
I don't understand what's happening, Jimmy. The buses are set
I'm
correctly. Yeah, sorry, caller. It's the caller may not. Okay, no, caller can hear me.
I can hear you.
For some reason, Forrest can't hear you, even though it's set to bus C to go to this caller or to Forrest. So
the caller's call needs to be set to bus D.
it is, and Forrest is set to bus C as well, so he should be able to see bus C. Sorry,
Forrest receiving bus is C.
Quit.
Yeah.
Quit talking about my pussy. Quit talking about.
You're making the caller laugh, even though you can't hear them.
Damn it.
Does the caller hear Forrest?
Yeah, the caller can hear Forrest, and you guys can
All
both hear caller, and caller can hear
Lee,
all of you. So
I have
Lee,
a question for Forrest. Do you have both earpieces in, or only one?
Just the one. Do you want me to do two?
I wonder if it's like it's only coming in on one channel. Okay.
No, it's Bluetooth, so it's only one's connected. Yeah, Lee, go ahead and tell me what you want, and Arden will relay it to me through. You tell her, and she's going to tell me.
Jesus Christ!
All right.
Go for it.
What could go wrong?
I wonder, can the audience
the caller
hear Lee?
who called on the other show was just real vague and didn't really. He believed that they existed, but he had never considered what the science behind it might be. And it's merely some people have the ability to see that way, to see the bioelectric field.
Okay, hold on a second, caller. We have to relay this to Forrest now. So they're saying that
dead silence. It's dead silence.
Nobody hold up signs. Let's everybody pause, and let's we'll resume here in a moment. Arden, let's try something first. Go ahead and switch my audio source to master.
Okay.
The ego is insane, Master.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This guy's got to be in charge. He's always putting us to work.
Wait. I was actually doing it because if this doesn't work, the audio that's going to feed is going to be so offensive that I was only going to offend my ears. Not Shiloh offensive. That stupid.
Oh, you want me to take it? So it's going to master, but not to Matt and Forrest, is what you're saying?
No. Right click and on audio source instead of a bus, change my audio source to master.
Well, now I can't hear Jimmy Snow.
You can't hear me?
No.
I was fucking with shit. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. Audio source. Yeah. Got it. Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Please
so I'm
donate to Recovering from Religion.
Can Forrest hear
to
me
make
again?
This show happen.
Forrest, please
I can
shut
hear
up. Okay, great.
No.
That was a please shut up. You will get the mic again first. Yeah, everybody spam $5 while we figure this out. Okay. When you right click Forrest, what audio bus does it say on that menu? His is
bus D.
And what was mine before?
Yours was bus B.
Go ahead and switch that to bus B now.
Okay, audio source bus B.
All right. Forrest, sorry, not mine. Change Forrest to bus B.
Yeah, that's what I did. I got you.
Okay. Caller, will you just say some words?
I can't hear Jimmy again, by the way.
Can you hear them now, Forrest?
Caller?
I just heard somebody else. I'm assuming I just heard Lee, but I can't hear Jimmy.
But you can't hear me?
Nope.
Okay, so now you need to go to my mic input. No, that makes sense.
What a show, y'all.
Go to my mic input.
Yeah.
And tell Forrest to shut up. Go to my mic input and where you see my wave going and highlight B now that I'm master, and Forrest will start to hear me. Hello, Forrest. Can you hear me now?
There we go. Talk more.
Hi. Forrest, do you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Forrest is of equal value to this channel. He could have fixed that too. All right, take it back. Forrest, you're back on, and everything is fixed.
Can I hear Lee?
Start from the beginning, Lee. Do it all again.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Holy fuck, yes.
Awesome. All right. The fellow who was on the last show that talked about ours, he was just sort of never thought of, apparently he's never thought about what the possible science of it could be. And it's just that some people at least, can see the bioelectric field that that others have.
Okay. What is that?
It's the bioelectric field that people generate.
Right. What does bioelectric field mean?
It means the electricity that a person creates, and it tends to be around be part of their body and then all around it. It's I believe it's generated by our own nervous system working.
So there is electricity that's going through your body at all. There's chemoelectric things that are happening in your nervous system. That's ions being transferred across cell membranes are causing spikes and charges, and all that sure. The issue is that that's not, unless you have a specialized organ called ampullae of Lorenzini, which is what sharks have. You're not detecting that. And as far as a visual field is concerned, we do all produce a light. There's a field of light that surrounds us, but it's just regular old infrared radiation. Literally anything that produces or anything that has any heat whatsoever will produce some small amount of light. So my question to you is, how does this field that you're proposing differ than the arguably more visible fields, or at least more prominent fields, like infrared or anything else that would also be there?
It comes in colors for different people. Some people, it's like
clown sex.
Looking through a stained glass, colored blue or green. Most people are in the blue or green. I can only tell you.
Matt just got his 123.
Okay,
and
so shut up.
You can see people through it.
Lee, how can we verify that different people come in different colors in their electromagnetic field? What test can we run to show that?
You ever heard of Kirlian photography?
Yes, I know all about Kirlian photography, but that is not in any way demonstrating that individuals present an aura of a certain color.
Okay. Last time I saw Kirlian things, the ones I saw had some people in blue and some people came in green. Some people go in gold. They're just almost like a pure yellow light.
So you're aware that, like, when you shoot the things that are called Kirlian photography, that if you took pictures of me over and over again, you wouldn't always get the same thing, right?
Well, of course not.
Well, you say of course not. You say of course not, Lee. But if we take pictures of the same person over and over again and we get different results, that is not a demonstration that I'm producing a particular thing, and there's no demonstration that anybody can see it. And so you say most people do blue and green. Maybe it's just that most Kirlian photography, when pointed at people, is just blue and green. That doesn't mean that I'm emanating blue and green. How could we test whether or not I'm emanating blue and green?
I'm not sure. I'm still working that out.
Okay, so are you like actively doing research in this area?
I have been, at the moment it's just brain work and trying to read things up,
So you're basically sitting around thinking about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you high while you're sitting around thinking about it? And do you think that would help?
Oh, Forrest just got the mic.
I don't know.
Oh, shit. It's me now. So do you understand that, like, just sitting here and thinking about a thing is not, like, evidence for the thing? Like, you get that, right?
No, of course it isn't.
Right. So my question, just to follow off what Matt was saying, like, what could you do to falsify this claim? What test could you run that you could say, okay, if I take a picture of somebody with this fancy photography and this happens, then auras aren't real and this photography is bullshit? What would that look like?
Oh, Jimmy got it.
Oh, shut up. I feel everybody is missing out on the Lee. Hey, Lee. We're talking fucking Lee. Hi, Lee. I'm going to mute you again because I don't care about this call and I want to antagonize these guys, but I'm sure they'll be back with you here in just a moment. All right. So Lee's back on hold. Sorry, people. I would now like to take this opportunity to talk about, and I will get Dexter when I have to be quiet again. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about how rich Forrest is. Forrest Valkai is about to be going to South America, where he will be paid money to go on. Okay, I don't know if it's South America or Africa, or maybe he just did it. I know he went to the Galapagos last year, where he will be paid lots of money to go on vacation. And then other people will be paid paying thousands of dollars to go on vacation with Forrest Valkai. Okay, people pay to leave my vacations. People are paying to go on vacation with Forrest. So if we're just talking riches, this man travels like 18% of the year. I think it is. I think that's what he travels. So as we're talking, but by the way, people, this is much, much funnier the more chaotic we make it. So I do want to also encourage, we are right now $64 away from breaking 21,000, but we are not moving fast enough. We can do better, and we can do much more impressive things than this. Dexter is definitely coming, but we can definitely do better. And I want to say thank you everybody who's participated so far, and I'm excited for the people who are going to be here tomorrow. We have an awesome lineup and show, but I just want to make sure that everybody knows this, and I don't have much else to say, so I hope somebody bids to move to one of these gentlemen soon. I just want to say that truly, I am positive Forrest makes more money.
Shut up. I got it twice. I hit 27 twice. Hey, I'm going to put Lee back on. Hey, Lee, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I have a question that follows off Forrest's question. Sure. Would you agree that an unfalsifiable thing is untestable?
Usually. But I don't know that it's untestable yet until I come up with a way to test it.
No. I'm saying if something is unfalsifiable, it is in fact untestable. You may not know whether or not it's falsifiable, but if it's unfalsifiable, you can't test it.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So would you then also agree that would you also agree that until somebody can demonstrate that the claim is falsifiable, it is a waste of time to discuss it and speculate about whether or not it's real?
No, you may talking with it, you may give me an idea on how, talking with other people about it, I may give me an idea on how to test it.
Yes, but I'm not interested in giving you an idea on how to test it. I'm interested in people.
I just got $36. I just want to be clear. I'm going to Borneo for 2
shut up,
weeks.
Forrest, because we also crossed 500, so it goes right back to Matt.
Damn it.
Oh, so you can talk about it all you want, Lee, and you can sit around and think about it and speculate, but until you have something more than that, I'm not interested, and I don't know why anybody else would be.
Well, but you guys are smart. And you help keep me grounded, even when my right brain tells me things. You keep me grounded from going. There is a balance to life. You must balance between your right brain and your left brain. You guys keep.
Is there balance? Is there balance? And does your right brain tell you stuff that it shouldn't?
It exaggerates.
That your right brain exaggerates.
Very, very creative. I have had dreams that had relevance, but they had relevance in real life, but they were wildly, the elements of the dream were wildly overstated. I have to learn to bring it down. I have a dream and it seems important. I bring it down and go, okay, we need to bring that down by half at least, because it's an over exaggeration. Things have happened that relate to the dream, all right, but it's not as dramatic.
Well, so when it comes to dreams, Lee, I have to shut
Thank
up.
you very much for the 27 fake dollars. I deliberately went out of my way to make my educational adventures as cheap as possible. And they are very educational, and I work my ass off on those trips, and I don't make that much money off of them. Most of it goes to the tour company. Lee, the thing is, what Matt just said is absolutely true, is that if you have something that you can't even tell whether or not it's fake, then you shouldn't concern yourself with whether or not it's real. You need to be able to falsify a claim, because otherwise I can sit here and tell you that auras aren't real because I have this fancy camera that guarantees it can take pictures of auras, and every time I take a picture, it doesn't have an aura in it. And you could say, well, how would you know it isn't working? I say, well, if it takes a picture of an aura, but every time I take a picture, there's no aura in it, therefore I know it's fake. And like, it doesn't mean anything, right? So at the end of the day, you're just believing in something because you want to believe in it, and that isn't how thinking works.
What is what you? I'm going to come up with a way, work on some of the way, because I believe that this is testable at some point, because I believe it's there. I believe it's real.
Hey, if you come up with a way to make it testable, but that's that, dude. People like to make bullshit, and that's the issue. If you come up with a way to make it testable, call us back.
Shut up. Lee, I don't know if they're going to pick you up again, but I'm muting you again. Hey guys, this is how rich Forrest is. Forrest believes that being paid to go on a vacation at only the cost of giving speeches he was going to give to the strangers around him anyway, that is like, oh, I'm doing it for so little. I'm only being paid to fly there. I'm only getting all my expenses paid there. And I made it as cheap as possible. It's only like thousands of dollars. This is how detached. This is why I wish Forrest was more of a socialist, because he would know that is a type of richness when you can go on vacations and they're all paid for you at the cost of, oh, you're going to say the words you were going to say to your poor wife anyway. So now the lectures are just going to go out to the other people instead. That's how rich he is. I don't get paid to go to Houston, and I live in Austin. This guy's like, I barely make a couple $1,000s off of the vacations I'm being paid to go on. Jimmy's
fucking shut up. We just got 3 people. I pay for my own flight, and I pay for all my own shit, and anything that I do comes out of the trip, like my profit, not out of, people don't pay for it. It comes out of me, and it isn't things that I prepare. I have to teach on the fly. We found a bunch of bones in the Galapagos. I give a free osteology workshop 5 different times, and I had to go find the bones each time because it's a fucking wilderness park, and I had to go finding them. I'm going to bring Lee back on because I'm not a dick who just wants to shit on how rich my friends are, Jimmy, incredibly rich person Snow. I'm going to go ahead and just bring on Lee here. Lee, if you find a test, man, that can show these things work or can at least falsify them, call us back and tell us, because as of right now, it's failing the skeptic test. But I appreciate you calling in. All right, have an awesome rest of your night.
You too.
Oh, before you go, can you tell everybody to donate to Recovering from Religion, please?
Donate to Recovering from Religion, please.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Take care, Lee. Lee's a nice person. I'm going to move right on to the next call because that's what you, the audience, want. Because I am a man of the people, a man who works hard for my audience and not for my own selfish ego, Jimmy Snow. Let's talk to, oh, interesting. Nakul, I'm guessing is the name. Please tell me if I'm saying that wrong. Calling in all the way from the frozen wasteland that is Canada, who says how to explain why it's important to talk about issues to apolitical people. Nakul, you're on the line with Forrest and only Forrest. How are you doing today?
There we go. Shut up.
I'm good. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Nicole, I'll get to you in just a second because I don't want to be disrespectful to callers, but I just wanted to point out that I've never been to the Galapagos, let alone gone 5 or 6 fucking times. And the only way I got to see the world was by joining the United States Navy and serving our country to protect your rights to donate to Recovering from Religion. I spent 8.5 years in the United States Navy as a fundamentalist Christian, but gradually finding my way out. And I did all of that so that you would have the freedom prize to donate to Recovering from Religion. And I appreciate the $31. Nicole, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. You wanted to explain why it's important to talk about issues to people who aren't political. And I think that's a wonderful point. So you get as much of my time as you'd like until somebody donates money to make me shut up.
Yeah, I just basically want to know, I wasn't aware of my privilege like just few years ago, but then watching shows like yours, I understood what privilege is. So now when I talk about these things to my friends, they also enjoy those privileges and they don't want to talk about it. So and they ask me like, if you really want to change anything, go protest. Talking wouldn't change anything. So I don't have a good answer to like why should we keep talking about these things even if we can't join protest.
Yeah. I mean, they're right in a sense that talking on its own doesn't change anything. However, protesting on its own isn't going to change anything. The key is to change minds, and we change minds by talking to people. We talk with people by educating. When people are like, oh, you're preaching to the choir, well, that's how you get the choir to sing. And in order to get people to recognize that they have massive amounts of privilege that they can use, even if they are underprivileged in some other area, that having some area where you are privileged does not mean that you are like, the elite and that you're not, I have buckets of privilege, but also I'm a godless heathen in the United States. I'm sitting here and am marginalized in a number of areas, but I would need to use the privilege I do have to help bolster other people who are suffering more so that we can work together to educate people. And so while protesting is good, signing a petition may not change anything. Protesting may not change anything, or they may all change something. But the most important thing is to change hearts and minds.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, do you think there's still a point to talking to apathetic or apolitical people, or do you think that's a waste of time?
It depends. I think you need to change the questions you ask. If you're talking to somebody who's apolitical or apathetic with regard to it, I think you need to ask them, don't you care about whether or not you have due process, which we're basically throwing out the window right now? Would you like to be deported without anybody knowing anything about it? They're just picking people up, shoving in a van and shipping them off to El Salvador. Do you care about how much you're going to pay in taxes? Do you care whether or not the roads work? Do you care whether or not we have universal basic income? Do you care whether or not we have health care? If you were to lose your job, you can point out to them that one of the biggest financial stumbling blocks to, for example, United States citizens is medical bills. That's number one or number two for bankruptcies. And do they care about those things? If you can find the thing that they care about and show how it might be a threat, I guarantee you the next thing that those apathetic people are going to do is say, yeah, but both sides are the same, so it won't matter. And everybody should already have the ammunition. Oh, I think I just got shut up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Caller, is this pseudo history?
Sorry.
Are you from the channel Pseudo History?
No.
Oh, what are people talking about then? This is a pseudo history caller. Thought it was somebody who's banned. All right, somebody will have to explain it to me in the thing. As far as rebutting both, first of all, what Forrest didn't tell you is that he doesn't actually go in the negative. He just wanted you to be impressed. He puts in the flight order himself. And Matt, that's very admirable. However, the CEO of McDonald's made 1,212 times the amount of the median income of the hardest workers at McDonald's. So I just wish you were fighting for something better than our freedom fries. Anyway, I don't know why I decided to throw Matt in on the fight too, but he said he was fighting for our freedom fight, so I decided to go socialist.
Hey, shut up, Jimmy. Really quickly, I just want to be clear that, when you're talking about, why you should protest, I think what Matt said is really important. That don't you care about XYZ thing? What you said at the beginning of the call, Nakul, is that you protesting is the only way to affect change, is what you should be doing. You said something to that effect, and I don't think that's true at all. You can always call your representatives. You can always be, calling your friends and family and talking to them, making sure that they're voting in the right way that actually helps other people. you could be spreading information online and doing campaigns. So like you could be even going door to door and spreading information if you really wanted to. You could be phone banking for local politicians. You could be door knocking for local politicians. You could do all sorts of things in all sorts of ways that don't involve going out and getting into a protest, which can be dangerous and isn't possible for a lot of people who have whatever disability that disallows them from going outside. So like there's a lot of things that you could be doing. And the key thing is that like, apathy is the biggest privilege, and it just demonstrates that you are not being hurt. At this moment, it is very unlikely that I am going to be rounded up and deported without due process. Very unlikely, unless Stephen Miller gets his way, because he just said that they're trying to get rid of the writ of habeas corpus, which here in America is basically the check to see if you are being held unjustly. Without the writ of habeas corpus, there's no way to stop the government from detaining you indefinitely without trial, without even having a charge, literally just like Kafka. Like you can just be rounded up. We don't have to tell you why we're arresting you. We don't have to give you a trial.
I'm sorry, you can shut up now. I got my $69. I love how, Forrest is incredibly sweet and talks about how what I said was really important. And Jimmy was so terrified that what I was saying was really important that he had to distract us and go to Freedom Flyers. Don't anybody give him the $25 because I guarantee you he's sitting there and he's got an idea for a new rule right now that he says is going to be more fun. Jimmy cannot be trusted. But hopefully we've hit most of the points that you were asking about, Nicole. But yes, be prepared for them to say that it's not going to make a difference and try to have ways in mind where it absolutely does make a difference.
Shut up. Thank you, Liz Chris. All right, let's go ahead and go to the 3 mics again because we're going to need a second to reset it. Because here's the thing. This is fun and it's funny, but we're almost an hour in and we're not raising money fast enough, in my opinion. So we're going to raise it faster. Arden, can you get a stopwatch up right now? We're going to bid. And after I'm done with this, we're going to bid for who gets to go start over again. Arden, can you get a stopwatch ready or like the stopwatch on your phone just so you can easily do minute countdowns?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Great. So here's the deal. I'll let these two chime in on how long they think it should be. I think it should be 1 minute. If when you are talking, if within 1 minute, a $5 donation doesn't come in, at least $5, the mic also moves. And Arden will just be hitting reset on it. So we see the mic move. We just say, shut up. To keep your mic on top of the bid, to keep the mic, you need to be making $5 a minute. Otherwise, the mic keeps moving.
I okay.
So you want me to say shut up to people when
Yeah, when you move it, you could just say shut up and we can pay attention to who's got the mic at that moment. Is 1 minute too often, y'all think? Or is 1 minute good with y'all? Well, if at least five minutes, $5 doesn't come.
$5 a minute sounds pretty fucking reasonable. Like it's not like we're asking for like $100 a minute. You know what I mean? I think $5 in a minute, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. Here's what I also think. I think all three of us, because clearly we've all found out today we're super rich. We have the power to make sure that we can at least get 1 extra minute. I'm literally going to be just having $5 up and ready to go and donate anytime I need it.
That's a good idea.
I'm gonna need that on there. Obviously, we're gonna have to feel for it or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna have a $5. All right. Let's see. I'll go last. Why don't we go? Let's see. What is the order? Did I just take it from Matt or did I just take it from?
You just took it from Matt. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Forrest, you can put up your auction bid amount first, then Matt, and then I will. That way you can take the lowest slot since you were the furthest away, and we'll pick up from there.
This is just what I had earlier to try to take it from you with your 25, so I'm just going to leave it there for now.
Well, Matt,
are we starting back with you, Jimmy, or
no, we're gonna start like we did at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Somebody buys us again. Matt at 42, and I'll go. I'm keen to be done talking, honestly. So for the moment, I haven't thought of funny ways to antagonize my friends yet. But just know that as part of my pitch, as you guys are deciding who's going to take the mic, I'm usually thinking of ways to antagonize these guys. So whoever likes that, you don't have to buy it, but you can buy it. Sorry, Nicole, I was confused. To the coward in chat that was being a douche, why don't you call in? Otherwise, that's
what I was saying. Is this whatever, I forgot what it was, something history. Like
Promise is in the chat. Can we now say she's our favorite?
Yes. She is our favorite. Hey, call screener. Yeah. Also, I think we have another person queued up. If we can get the call screener to check that person in the queue, because that actually looks like a call I even want to talk. I'd want to even talk to, but I think there's somebody else in there. So we are waiting for whoever is going to get the first bid, $26 for Forrest to take the first mic, 42. By the way, actually, I guess a quick explanation for people who are here not understanding. When one of us has the mic, the other are trying to get the mic by getting people to donate the amount that is on our signs. It has to be the exact amount. Every minute that at least $5 doesn't come in, the mic automatically gets moved to the right. We'll go ahead and erase the $500 thing because that's just too many things to make Arden keep track of. But we'll just do if you want that person to continue talking, to continue to have the mic, $5 a minute. Otherwise, Arden is going to move the mic and she'll get to say shut up, which I think she's not admitting how delighted she is by.
Oh, I will admit it. I will admit it. This is the best part of my day so far. I'm so excited.
She just gets to tell the boys to shut up.
Because we all have mics right now. Nakul, I hope that we've been a little bit helpful in just like encouraging you to be more politically active in general and tell your friends to be as well, because apathy is the extreme privilege. If you are comfortable enough to not get up off the couch and care a little bit and at least share some stuff, make a post, say something, call your representatives. It's uncomfortable, but it's worth it. Then you are extremely privileged. And all you're telling to all the people who are very scared right now is that they don't matter to you enough to discomfort yourself a tiny bit. And that fucking sucks.
Two things. I think we should say goodbye to Nakul just to be fair, but also somebody in chat said, who gets to talk if they donate 10K? If you donate 10K, we'll let you pick which one of us gets to talk.
Yeah, pretty much for the rest of the show.
You are now in charge.
But you can give somebody a solid 20 minutes and the other two have to sit by and listen to what I'm sure will be abuse. Hey, are all of us thinking that whichever one of us gets the mic? Thank you, Nicole. We're going to let you go. Are all of us thinking that whoever gets the mic? Okay.
Matt got it.
Yay.
Matt got it.
All right, timer starting now.
Sweet. So the timer started. I know that I have a short period of time. So ignore what they have on their things. Jimmy's got $100. Forrest is going to put up some number. Somebody donate $200 right now before my time is up, and I will go down and grab the snake that is most likely to actually bite me and freehand handle it right here in front of you. But you have to do that before somebody moves the mic or we run out of time. And this is, I'm talking about, this is a gorgeous snake. This is a mangrove snake, Boiga melanota. But I'm not picking it up barehanded for this show or anything else for less than $200. It is a rear fang venomous snake, although it won't actually hurt me. It's not harmful to humans. But it is the snake in the house that is most likely to tag the shit out of me and would be very fun for you guys. Not so much fun for me. Somebody said, no. Mangrove snakes are gorgeous. I know some of you guys like me and don't want me to get hurt. I promise that I'll just bleed a little bit and cry like, there it is.
Whoa.
Shut up.
I'm going to go get the Boiga.
I played the long game and I changed mine to 200 knowing it's come in, which means I get credit for the $200 because it was my bid, everybody. Now let's see if anybody extends me by 1 minute. Actually, if people would go ahead and extend me by a minute, I'm going to take a Christian caller, and I think I'd like to see what they have to say. So, Rilo in California, you're a Christian. We got to go fast. We got to be efficient here. Somebody please give me that $5 right now. Rilo, why are you a Christian?
Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt your fundraiser. It's probably off topic, but yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm a Christian because 3 words in the Bible. I don't know if you guys are familiar with 1 John 4:16. It says, God is love. Are any of you familiar with that?
Shut up, Jimmy, because I just got the thing. You're not interrupting the show at all, Rilo. This is an atheist call-in network. We take calls from religious people. We're happy to hear from you. Yes, I've heard God is love, and I strongly disagree. Having read the rest of the Bible and heard a lot about the Christian God, it is the farthest thing from love imaginable.
Hello?
Rilo, are you there?
Are they on web caller? I haven't checked.
Hello?
Yes, there you go. Yeah, if your phone falls asleep, I can't hear you. Yeah, your God is not love. The Christian God, I don't think is real. But if the Christian God is real, it is certainly not love.
Okay, thanks for that. Can I just ask you, so I know I'm familiar with your background or you guys' history, all 3 of you. Were any of you Christians growing up or have a background in Christianity?
Yes. So Matt specifically was actually in school to become a pastor, if I remember correctly. He was a Christian for like 20-something years, was strongly evangelical, was going to school to be a minister. Jimmy, the other person who can't talk right now, was a Mormon growing up. And I was actually raised pagan, but I was raised in Oklahoma, which is the buckle of the Bible Belt. There are double-digit churches within walking distance of my house and have been my entire life. So like I am very familiar with Christianity as well.
All right, cool. So I can safely probably, I don't want to assume anything, but all three of you probably know then what like the gospel message is. Can any of you can any of you repeat that?
Shut up, Forrest. Shut up, Forrest.
Damn it.
The gospel message is also a very, very vague thing. So it depends on what you're actually describing, what you're wanting to know. If you're wanting the general idea of what Jesus was saying,
I don't have the mic, but I also can't hear anything. So I wanted to at least let everybody know. Here we go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Pause my minute thing.
She's doing great.
I gotta pause. Yeah, you're good.
See if I can get the head up here where you can see it really good.
So obviously,
how pretty that snake is.
You know,
and the
Jesus,
green, it's so bright yellow. The green screen grabs it.
Jesus obviously very heavily focused on keeping the commandments, loving thy neighbor. He talks about coming back to fulfill the covenants, to fulfill, but also to
love
not
an animal like that.
Oh my God! Shut up! Rewriting them. You said you have the snake. We heard about the snake.
Can't hear you.
So I not only am I familiar with the gospel message was absolutely core to my freaking life for a very long time. So yes, I'm familiar with it. If you want to say you believe in God because the Bible says God is love and love exists, that would be a fallacy.
He's really running. I'm going to take him back.
Shut up. That's an equivocation, Fally, and it absolutely would not be satisfactory to then go. And we get that all the time. People call in with equivocation all the time. Well, what if God is the energy between things? Certainly not good enough. So all I want to know is, I wouldn't blame you for not believing in Islam, even though I doubt you know the core tenets of Islam, because it's about whether or not they have proven their claim, not whether or not they think they have a strong claim. So what can we actually evaluate to whether God exists besides an equivocation fallacy?
Okay, well, thanks for that answer. Yeah, I think you gave a more broad answer for like our understanding, our operating system. Hello?
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was letting you talk. Go ahead.
Sorry. So yeah, our operating, like that was kind of a broad definition of the gospel. For us, we have an OS, or like an operating system. It's famously found in John 3:16. So it says, "For God so loved the world." So that's like what the gospel is. It's love. So that's what it's.
So let me tell you, Rilo, that is a sick mockery of love. That is not love. That is a disgusting, twisted, fake love. Here's the thing. When you asked what are the central tenets of Christianity, here's what it is. The central tenet of Christianity is that you and I are evil, disgusting, wicked, broken, sinful, reprehensible, vile creatures, and the best thing that could ever happen in the universe, the ultimate good, is that we are tortured for all eternity just because of who we are by virtue of our birth. And the only way that we are able to avoid this justifiable agony is by sacrificing our critical thinking and becoming slaves to this monster in the sky who set up this system without our consent and is now holding us to it. The whole reason why God had to give his son to be sacrificed and all this stuff is because he fucked up. He made the Garden of Eden stupid. He made the fruit of knowledge stupid. Everything about the book of Genesis is him making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake and blaming us.
Shut up. Forrest, I love you so much, but I think the reason somebody gave me $30 is because you and I have talked about this so many times. I don't care what the doctrine is. I get like that's what you believe in, and even the list of all that stuff Forrest just said is great, and it's a feel-good moment for a lot of people. Feel free to feel good. None of it matters because what you just said, none of it is. You're still going to, but the doctrine says, who cares what the doctrine says unless you can first say the doctrine is true. Even if we disagree on what the morality is, because what Forrest is saying, none of it matters if God actually exists and if the Bible is true. right? Because then Forrest is just in conflict with that God. Forrest is just like, and he could just be like, God, I'm so mad at you because. So what I want from you, Rilo, is why should I believe that it is true? Not what does the book say?
Okay, yeah, fair. I received that point. Just to comment on what Forrest is saying, I'm sorry that's what you were taught. If that's what you were taught, like that the greatest.
That's not a real. That's not. Let's skip that because that's not a real apology.
Shut up, Jimmy. No, okay, that's not what I was taught. That's what the Bible says. Right. The Bible says in Genesis that God sent the flood to drown everybody because he regretted making us. That's evil. So I understand what Jimmy's trying to get at, that at the end of the day, it's important that it's true. But your claim is that you believe it because God is love. And I'm telling you that there is no love in this world that boils down to believe in me or I'll set you on fucking fire. That's not love. That's evil, Rilo.
All right. Again, point received. There's a lot of points. I have a low IQ, so I'm trying to remember all the points, but I can't. So just about the flood, just so you know, from a Christian paradigm, we believe that Nephilim were flooded, not humans, that God actually saved human DNA in Noah and Noah's family. The rest were mixed Nephilim DNA. So that's...
Were there babies? Were there babies amongst them?
Nephilim. So they were not true DNA, human DNA. That's
okay, shut up. Stop.
So
I got mine. I got my 123. So first of all, really quickly here, right?
I don't want to go into Nephilim.
Rilo, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I was a Christian for decades and was studying to be a minister. When you say Christians believe they were Nephilim, no, they don't. There is no ubiquitous what Christians believed. As a Southern Baptist, I did not believe that the flood merely wiped out Nephilim at all. It was specifically, and by the way, the Bible doesn't even say that. I'm sorry, what?
Shut up. Forrest is still technically wrong, people, because if God exists, he does get to decide what is love. If he is the true, if I'm the coder of the universe, if I'm making the simulation that the universe exists within, that is still his decision and what his call is. Forrest can disagree with it, and he can say subjectively, I disagree, but as the coder of the universe, as a supreme thing, it would still be love if God says it's love. And so I even agree to some degree with Rilo that in a way, if the Bible is true, God decides all of the things. Here's my thing, Rilo. It ain't true. And I have great reasons to believe it's not, but I'm much more interested in your reasons that you believe it is true, because that's at the core of what matters here.
Well, you used a very strong word, and I like that word. We use it too.
Shut up, it's Forrest. Sorry. No, go ahead. You can
go ahead. It's me now.
Whoever was speaking, sorry, I don't know your name. The one that was speaking just now used a good word. A descriptive word that's very important for, again, our operating system, and that's code. So that's exactly why I believe Christianity is the truth, because it's the only operating system where love is truth. Like God's nature is love. Now, whether you agree with that or not, it's part of our parameters that make up the operating system. And like you use the word code.
Would it be morally right for me right now? Because your distinction here is that the people drowned in the flood weren't actually humans. Would it be morally right for me to go drown a bunch of puppies right now?
So, no, I think
that's a yes or no question.
I can answer that with a really important scripture about animals in Isaiah. It talks about.
Okay.
I
got mine. Hey, anyway, again, I actually don't care about the morality of the thing. I'm going to come back to you again, Rilo. What you just described is not still what is true. You basically it's almost like it's not quite poison in the well, but it's almost a fallacy thing. Let's say I was creating a universe and I hate everything. I could make hate the core tenet of all truth. You're just saying, because God, this is the only system, which you also haven't demonstrated, with love at its center, therefore, that's what God has to be. But nothing says that if God exists, he has to be a loving God. In fact, you could argue a hateful God would create Islam and Christianity and Mormonism and Hinduism and Buddhism because he loves watching his creation kill each other. So let's get to the core thing. You're very good at distracting Forrest, and I'm antagonizing him because it makes people You're good
Okay,
at
it's my turn. Hey, what does Genesis 6:7 say?
I'm not in front of the computer. Is it that about where the sons of man or sons of God were
God
like?
damn it! I got one part of one question and no answer, and you
didn't
guys
even get the whole question. Yeah.
The sons of, the
Go
sons
ahead.
Of, the
What's it
sons
say?
of God, the sons of God, like thought the women, human women, were beautiful, and they laid with them. Is that what it about?
I don't know. Let me check. Genesis 6:7 says, "The Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them." God says, I will kill man, not Nephilim, man and woman and the creeping things and the beasts and the fowls, because I regret making humans. That's what the actual Bible says. I have a question for you, Rilo. If God is all-knowing, how does he regret anything? How does an all-knowing creature understand what regret is?
I think when you look, there's a special relationship here with the identity of God in Christianity, because the identity of God in Christianity is not like the identity of God in Hinduism or Buddhism or even Islam, which they are anti-personal gods.
It's immensely weirder. The question is, how does something that knows everything, past, present, and future, knows what will happen at all times for the rest of the... How does that God have regrets? Regret comes along when you have an... damn it.
Your minute went by. Back to you, Matt.
Yeah, so in fairness to the caller, as I'm always trying to represent Christianity fairly, since no offense to you, caller, but... this is my life study, and while I'm not an expert, I definitely know the Bible better than you or Forrest. And the actual word that is there in Genesis 6, that is 6:7, that talks about regret or repenteth, doesn't mean that God didn't know it was going to happen. It's just made him sad. It's entirely possible that God knew this was going to happen all the time, and he knew he was going to be sad, which is really weird, because that to me raises the right question, which is, how can God be sad? How can there be...
Yeah, well, you see Jesus crying for Lazarus when he died, and you see Jesus lamenting over the Jewish nation who rejected him. So he said, if only I could gather you like a hen gathers her chicks. So we're seeing constantly this...
Yeah, love. The Bible advocates for slavery. The Bible advocates for misogyny. Women aren't equal to men. And while you can point to Jesus saying, turn the other cheek and love one another and all this other stuff, he also came to bring what? What did Jesus come to bring? Not peace, but a sword. Yeah. And also, what's going to happen to everybody? Are they going to be cast into the lake of fire?
So these are good points. I haven't really demonstrated my argument yet, which the argument is positionally around the evidence of love coded in us. So
no, there's no love coded in us. We are species that interact. What do you mean? Even if my hang on. Believe it or not, I'm trying to help you. Even if my DNA had a secret message that said, I am the Lord thy God and I command you to love, that wouldn't prove that there's a God or that we were designed to love. So you thinking that you see love, how would that demonstrate that this is because of God?
Because, okay, so I can tell you, give you a quick background. I'm in medicine, and in medicine, we recognize there's not a biochemical molecule or particle that equates to love. Some people say it's oxytocin, but actually oxytocin, if you look up, you can look up this famous Dutch meta study about oxytocin that actually concludes that...
I'm going to interrupt you again, because all of this is irrelevant. I don't care about any of it. I asked you, how is it that demonstrating love exists points to God? What you think you know about medicine is irrelevant to whether or not the existence of love points to God.
Love doesn't exist. So love doesn't exist on a particle physical reality.
Correct. Love is not a thing. Love is not synthetic. It is not extant on its own. Love is the label that we put on a variety of behaviors. There are a variety of behaviors that are platonic love, romantic love,
Just because you can't explain something doesn't mean that it's fucking magic. We used to not be able to explain lightning, and we used to not be able to explain lightning, and so we came up with Zeus. And now we know what lightning is, and we don't need Zeus and Thor anymore. So at the end of the day, we do have a pretty good understanding. I'm not in medicine, I'm in biomed, but like at the end of the day,
Forrest?
we do have a pretty good. Damn it,
Jimmy.
Abundance for you. Thank you so much. Hang on. Abundance for you. Thank you so much. We got a donation of $666, and I very, very, very much appreciate that. Hey, listen, Rilo, I'm not going to lie. I don't care where either Matt or Forrest have taken this. And if people like theirs more, they can do their bids more. But these two keep forgetting even to put bids up. They want me to keep talking. I don't care about in fact, even what Forrest was just saying to me wasn't great, because he was like, just because you can't explain it. Everything you have described so far, anything you would call love, I don't buy that we don't have an explanation for. As far as the love we feel between each other, they seem to be different types of chemical bonds and things that solidify with memory over time. But the fact of the matter is I can both say I love a burrito, I love that dude that I hooked up with last night, or I loved the sex.
Shut up, Jimmy. That's the thing, is that love is a nebulous thing, and when you apply such a nebulous, useless label to your God and then say that thing existing means God exists, it means nothing. At the end of the day, what you actually need is real evidence for your God, and more importantly, you need real evidence that God is good. And the Bible, as Matt rightly pointed out, is back-to-back pro-slavery, pro-misogyny, pro-rape, pro-genocide, pro-torture, pro-murder. There are good teachings in the Bible, but you have to pick through a lot of shit to find that little bit of corn, dude. So the God that you worship is a monster. The messages of the Bible are not good messages by and large, and for you to sit here and say that love exists, therefore God exists, is as vapid and meaningless as anybody else from any other religion saying any other thing about how, there's monkeys and that proves that Hanuman is real.
But there's a problem. Thank you. But there's a problem with your position. The one that was speaking just before you said, love might be a behavioral or feeling, but there's absolutely, in medicine, there's something called the parasympathetic and sympathetic autonomic nerve response. It's actually impossible biophysiologically or like with brain physiology to love your enemy, because your enemy evokes a sympathetic response, which is like you fight a bear or you run away from the bear. But Christ is the only one, and you can check this. I have a degree in philosophy in my undergraduate studies, and I grew up in an atheist home, so I studied in detail these systems, and I looked for love your enemy anywhere, and it's nowhere to be found, and it's actually biologically impossible to do that. So just those three words alone.
Caller's thing went out. Matt, you have a bit up. You have the mic. The minute turned over.
Oh, I'm sitting here going, nobody can see my number because the fucking mic's in front of it. I didn't know. Caller, please stop fucking lying. Don't declare what is scientifically impossible. That's not how science works. Science doesn't declare X is impossible. Second of all, the mere fact that people can love their neighbors, even if Jesus was the only one in history who ever taught it, doesn't do anything to provide any evidence that there is a God. You are spouting sophistry. Shut up. You are spouting sophistry and providing no evidence, and you are lying. And you've lied about. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good. And I get the $5 extension. Hey, so here's the thing. Similar things to what he was just saying, but also let's just even say we took your claim right. You then can't actually prove that whatever you are saying is happening. That these Christians, in fact, are loving their enemy in any way that is significant. No Christian loves their enemy the way they love their family. I'm not a Christian. You could have called me an anti-Christian. Something I've developed over the last several years of seeing myself change as a person is an empathy for people who are shitty. It's why I am a slut for people who are pro-rehabilitation as opposed to like cancellation or whatever else.
You're going to seriously come onto this show and say you have a bachelor's in or whatever undergrad, maybe it's an associate's, I don't know, in philosophy. And that's how you know that no other religion says to love your enemies. You've never heard of Judaism? You've never heard of Jainism? You've never heard of these You've never heard of Jainism, which is extremely and wholly pacifistic? Like, absolutely not. And furthermore, again, as Jimmy was rightly saying, even if Jesus said something that nobody else had ever said before, that is not evidence of his divinity, nor is it evidence of morality, especially considering the fact that Jesus says in the Bible that he is the same God as the Old Testament, that God is unchanging, that he is the same before and later, that not a jot or tittle of the law shall change until all things come to pass, that he comes not to change the law, but to fulfill the law. And the old law of the Old Testament was that if a woman breaks up a fight between two men and accidentally touches one of their dicks, she gets her hand cut off. The old law of the Old Testament was slavery. The old God of the Old Testament condoned genocide and actually stripped a king of his power that he himself instated in that king because he didn't slaughter enough people. Like, there's no fucking way you're going to sit here and say that Jesus is some special exception and that makes him magical. Even if that was right, it would still be wrong.
But even with all those examples, it still remains that atheists, materialists, or like neo-Darwinists cannot provide proof to the existence of love. And that
yes, we absolutely can. You have not studied this stuff, and it shows painfully. Absolutely, we can demonstrate.
On oxytocin.
You didn't give me shit. You said that in your medical training, you saw one study that didn't summarize what oxytocin does in the way you wanted. That is not how science works. And I can tell you from my biomed background, it is far more complicated than what you're pretending it is. So again, even if we didn't know this shit, filling in the gaps with magic doesn't make any sense, especially when you're trying to use that magic to justify love, when the magic you're worshiping says it'll set you on fire if you don't love it back. That's not a god, that's a stalker.
I think you're I don't know who taught you these principles, but that's definitely not like the Christian operating system. No, because if you let's talk about the Bible. 1 Peter 4:8 says, above all, love each other. Above all, love each other. That's like a peak. If you say above all, that means the highest output internally.
And that's one commandment, which is different than when Jesus says, above all, follow and obey me. So there's a lot of above alls in the Bible.
He doesn't say that. He says, love your God and love your neighbor. Those are the two highest commandments. And they're both, again, love. And then if you go to...
I'm going to do what you should have done this whole time and just quickly Google, where in the Bible does Jesus say, above all, follow me? I'm pretty sure Matt could come up with it in a heartbeat. My sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me. Let's see if I can find it right here. Time Jesus said, follow me. Follow me, I will make you fishers of men. Fucking gross. See here, follow me, Lord, go to the Father. If anyone would come after me, let him know. Oh, fuck. Take up his cross. Of course, there's the one that he says that if anyone won't accept me as my master, bring him here and kill me. He was speaking in parable, but he was speaking about a wise king. Wonder why he thought that king was wise. I only have the mic for a minute. I'm not going to sit here and scroll for this. The point is that at the end of the day,
the actual point is at the end of the day is, even if I grant you fucking all of this, you have not yet established it was not justification when there was no explanation for lightning to then say there has to be a God because the only this religion incorporates lightning. And it still wasn't a justification once there was an explanation for lightning for people who denied that explanation was true to believe in God, as you're doing with many of the explanations for love. I do not give a fuck about whether or not you believe love even exists or if it has been explained. I give a fuck about whether or not the God exists, what good reason you have for it. And if you want to say because love exists, you have to prove that love could not exist, but were it for a God to exist. And you haven't gotten close to any of those things.
Okay, so can I go with you in this direction? It's important.
No, you can go in the direction I'm saying without quoting the Bible. Why should anyone believe the Bible is true?
Because of love. That's the reason. Because 1 Corinthians 16:14 says,
I believe in love. I believe in love, but I don't stop. I believe in love, but I don't believe in God. I believe in love, and it does not contradict my worldview at all.
Shut up, Jimmy.
So what you were saying was true.
I'm looking right now, and I'm finding like bear no one's was it bear no one's burdens, only follow the law of Christ? Is that right? I'm trying to find these things just a little bit more to get.
I can help you here.
But I can also say that there are the parts in the Bible where Jesus says, if anyone like comes to me and doesn't hate their father and mother, then they cannot be a true disciple. And Christians like to explain what that actually means is that they don't put Jesus above their family. That's a little bit more in line with what I'm talking about.
Shut up, me now. I got my 42.
Can you just look up question?
Real quick question. Does the Pope actually hear from God?
Well,
sorry, shut up.
Are you asking me?
Rilo, it doesn't matter because it's actually me, and I'm going to come back to my thing. You were describing the whole love thing. Love does not in any way contradict my worldview, the belief in love. So
amazing.
for love to be only true if God exists, you would have to have it incompatible with the atheist worldview. So now the next words out of your mouth need to be a direct, I will let you in a moment, a direct proof that if atheism is true, or if atheism is the correct worldview, it's not even really a worldview, position, if it's the correct position, a belief and an existence of love is impossible. Only a succinct proof of that statement. Go.
Okay. So here's the problem with atheism. Atheism.
No. Okay. I don't want your general problem with atheism. Why is it, I need those $5. Why is atheism incompatible with a belief in love?
Because you don't acknowledge the non-particle in atheism. And love
and
is
no non-particles have like never been established. Of course,
like mathematics and the laws
you don't have to acknowledge. You don't have to acknowledge the non-particles. That's bullshit. Because all we have to do is say we don't know. It's like asking what happened before the Big Bang. That question doesn't make any fucking sense. So I can just say I don't know.
Your worldview.
It does not. It just. Because unlike you, Rilo, I'm honest enough to just say I don't know something and I hope to know it someday.
Okay, I got my $69. So,
I promise you,
first of all, no, you don't get any fucking seconds. You will not speak the entire time I'm speaking, just for clarity, because I'm going to correct you with your fucking lies and misinformation. We are not all materialists, and atheism is not contingent on materialism, and atheism is not the same as materialism, and none of that is relevant to whether or not you can present any evidence-based argument for your God, which you clearly cannot, because every time Jimmy has tried to hold you to that, you fucking twist and turn and dodge away. And when I've tried to call you out for lying about what the Bible says, you just move on to the next thing in your script. And the only thing you know is that, oh, no, I'm still talking. Didn't I say you weren't going to? I'm going to mute you because when I fucking say you're not fucking talking, when I'm talking, you're fucking done. I'm a methodological naturalist. I'm a methodological materialist, which means until somebody demonstrates that the supernatural exists, we don't get to consider it as a candidate explanation. I do not assert that the supernatural doesn't exist or is impossible. I am not a philosophical naturalist. I'm a pragmatist that recognizes not just, by the way, the material world, but the abstract things like math. Math isn't particles either, motherfucker. Love isn't a particle. Hunger isn't a particle. Love and hunger are brain states that are measurable and identifiable. They don't exist as thing qua thing, but they exist as a label for a brain state. You don't get to lay claim to that, pretend that we don't have any way to identify it, pretend that the atheists don't even acknowledge that it's real, and then claim not only is it real, but it's only real because your magic fucking man in the sky is the cause of it. Every single step in that, you are fractally wrong. You are fractally fallacious, which means that you are wrong and fallacious at every conceivable resolution. You don't understand the first thing you're talking about. You can't get the Bible right. You try to speak on behalf of all Christians when there's no fucking such thing as all Christians think, which is why I was going to ask you about whether or not the Pope hears from God. You are a train wreck of bad apologetics, but I will say this, and I said it in chat. Good for you for being diligent and trying so hard in such a chaotic environment with so little ammunition. Have a good night. All right. So now I've got the mic, and we don't have a person on the line anymore. Oh, I got a rim shot and everything. There we go.
I saw a few people in chat asking about the rules. If you want to remind them.
Yep, it's great. So right now, if you look underneath the other two losers that are on the show, they're not allowed to speak because they don't have the golden microphone. And what they're doing is they're writing down how much they would like you to donate to Recovering from Religion in order to permit them to speak. So if we don't want to hear from Forrest or Jimmy for the rest of the night, you could stop donating. But that won't work because Jimmy has added a timer on there. And how much time do I have left, Arden, before it just automatically ships?
8 seconds.
I have 8 seconds, which means the mic's going to shift now, which means I'm going to put my number back up. And if you want me to continue, donate it right now.
Shut up. Grab a brush and put a little makeup. I actually want to do one thing that I don't think the rest of us were thinking to do. Rilo, thank you. Because I suspect if we go back and do the math, that call was worth a solid $2,000. So at the end of the day, I got really frustrated, but at the end of the show, we're getting a shit ton of money for Recovering from Religion, and that's what's important. People, I hope that you will give me some $5 donations because I'd like to start this call. I understand. We have another theist on the line. I am resetting to a more Zen state, as Matt calls it, his Zen mode. I am going, I know I was getting frustrated. Let's talk to Declan in Australia, and I will forgo my accent to be funny. Somebody give me the $5 extension, please. Declan in Australia, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Just fine. Good day. Sorry, I did it anyway. Declan, give us your proposal on you believe in God, and what is the message you first want to incorporate into that? And I assume you know we're going to ask why, but I'll let you give your little spiel first.
Oh, thanks. So I actually called the Atheist Experience a long time ago, and I spoke to Matt and Forrest.
That must have been a long time ago.
I don't know if they remember talking to me. But I'll
tell you this, I'll speak for them. Almost certainly not unless you said something insane, because we talk to people all the time. I would ask you to be a little quicker and more succinct with things as we're doing this timer thing. I think you've seen how it's going. We would appreciate the ability to get at least a message or two in between things. So if you would go with what's your message, and then we're going to ask why.
Okay. I can be quick. I talked to my parents about the call because my dad went through a really tough time in his life, and God influenced him through different means to make his life better, which it made our lives better as a family.
How do you know that God influenced him?
Well, it was through our church. We went to church together, and we spoke to our friends, and there was a lot of reasons.
Sure, but so I've had open heart surgery. I've had open heart surgery, and when it was happening, somebody prayed for me. Am I alive now because of the surgery or the prayer?
You prayed while you were having surgery?
I didn't pray at all. There were other people praying on my behalf. I don't pray.
Okay. I would say that it was both.
What is the evidence that I will accept that heart surgery contributed? What is the evidence that you can present that prayer contributed as well?
I can't. I don't think I have. I wouldn't be able to show evidence for that.
No, that's trust me, especially in a chaotic environment like this, just acknowledging that you don't have an answer makes you light years above everybody else's call it. So that's a flip. So your dad had an experience, and it fundamentally changed his life, and you would and your dad would like to credit God. So setting aside that you don't have a good reason to necessarily credit God, if somebody was praying.
Okay. I liked where he was going, except I wasn't listening. First of all, Matt, Forrest, all I was going to say to you is you should definitely milk this call longer before you offer to switch the call. Second of all, sorry, who are we talking to? Declan. Declan, the direction I would have gone it very, very similar, but we're literally here doing a charity event called Recovering from Religion, for a thing called Recovering from Religion. It seems to me that core to your thing is you feel you have good situational, anecdotal evidence that the switch to Christianity improved your life. But I have great, not just evidence, but in fact, data on the basis of secular therapy and the like, that what we are here advocating for makes people's lives better. So would you agree then, since our claims are in contrast to each other, that yours and mine, our beliefs cannot be simultaneously true? Would that be correct?
And your claim is what?
That God is not real in this case, that it has nothing to do with, or whatever secular or my humanist things. I'll just put it more simply. If ours are in contrast, we can't both point to the same reason, that our lives got better because we applied it, therefore it is true, right? If an atheist charity uses secular principles that are rooted in a rejection of religion, and we say it makes our life better, you can't also say that religion made my life better, therefore it's true. We can't both use that for our reason to be true. Making our lives better can't be why it's true, because we can both claim that, correct?
But, okay, I'm following you, but I think true is different for different people.
Declan, wouldn't it have just been more honest to just answer it? Just answer somebody, I need this $5 donation. Declan, no, truth is just truth. Something is either true or it is false. And if you say...
Yeah, I think that $30, they sent it in right as I was changing my thing to bring it down a few bucks to try to get, it doesn't matter. So, and by the way, I was going to switch it to the gender call. I was going to I switched to another call and put Declan back in the queue. 3 hosts and 2 callers, madness. I was going for madness, but Jimmy Snow, of course, says no. Declan, here's the thing. What if I could give you evidence that someone's life got much, much better after they became an atheist? Would that be evidence for God not existing?
It might be evidence that God convinced you to be an atheist to make your life better.
Okay, don't you go to hell if you're an atheist?
I don't believe that, no.
Okay, so God convinced you to believe something wrong just to be an atheist. Is there anything that could falsify that position? Is there anything that I could say, this happened and my life improved, therefore I know that God isn't real? Is there any circumstance in which I could say that?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
So your original claim was that someone started believing in God and then their life got better. My question was, if someone stopped believing in the God and their life got better, would that be evidence that God isn't real? And you said no, because it could just mean that God convinced them that he wasn't real to improve their life. So my question to you now is there any situation at all, anything that could happen where someone does something, believes something, doesn't believe something, whatever, and their life improves, that you could not then turn around and attribute to God?
Did I get the first? Yes, answer the question.
I think I got the whole question. I don't think so.
Okay. So when you say that people don't go to hell, what would be the reason? I mean, I think we made some assumptions that the God you were talking about was some version of a Christian God, and that might have been a mistake. So which God are you thinking is real that helped your dad and kept me alive?
It's the Christian.
Cool.
The Christian God.
So the Bible's the primary source for that God, right?
Yes.
How accurate is the Bible? Like, are there things in there that are wrong?
Do you mean morally?
Factually and morally? Both of them.
Yes. There are things in the Bible that I think are wrong. Actually, you guys pointed out some of them that I think are wrong.
Okay. So, and I think you were acknowledging that there are things that you think.
For the time being, I'm going to be always making my dollar goal, whatever we are far away from $25,000, because we are getting really, really close. Declan, I would have gone down a similar thing with you. It's just at the end of the day, your core let's just take you back to the beginning. I think that your core thing is God changes people's lives for the better, right?
Yes, definitely.
That was what you called him, and that you know a person who your family, their life was better because Christianity. A reminder to people that if you don't donate at least $5 per minute, the thing gets moved again. That because Christianity seemingly improved your life, that means Christianity and the Christian God is true, right?
Yeah, it improved my whole family's life.
Is Mormonism true?
I don't really know anything about Mormonism.
Is Islam true?
I don't really know anything about Islam.
So to be clear, your only explanation for their life got better is God. How did you exclude the possibility that religion comes with community and not God himself, but community improves lives? How did you come to the conclusion that it was in fact God instead of community?
I think it was both.
How did you come to the conclusion that God was a part of it and it wasn't only community or something other than God?
Through faith, through prayer and, Bible study with my family and going to church.
So to be clear, you started with the assumption that God exists, that God is real, and then you use the methods within the Bible to confirm it. Now, if God wasn't real, if the Bible wasn't true, would the Bible try to get you to use methods, because its obvious goal is to get you to believe, use methods outside of good logical methods to confirm its truth, and to do something like appeal to your feelings?
Oh, well,
Shut up, Jimmy.
I just want to be clear. I didn't assume that God's real. I had personal revelation, and so there's no assumption there.
There's absolutely assumption. You said yourself that this is through faith. So I'll ask you the same question that I asked a minute ago, but just a little bit different. Is there anything at all, any position that you could come to ever that you could not arrive at based on faith?
I don't really understand the question. I'm sorry.
Is there anything that you could believe that you could not believe based on faith?
Like if, is there an example?
Like if I wanted to believe in Islam, Mormonism, the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, whatever. If I say I believe it based on faith, is there anything out there that I could not say, I believe this based solely on faith?
No, I don't think so. No. Because it's
right.
kind of a confidence, right?
Right. So you're saying that nothing can prove your beliefs wrong. There is no way that I can say this happened, therefore God didn't do it. And you're saying that you believe based on faith and that you could believe absolutely anything in the whole world based on faith. Does that, just those two things, nothing can prove me wrong, and I could believe absolutely anything at all with this system, does that sound like a good system for establishing what is or isn't actually true?
Well, I don't think it sounds like a good system, but then whatever is actually true.
Right.
I mean, I don't think it makes much of a difference.
If this God is like the most intelligent, amazing creature in the universe, why would it make you use a terrible, bad system to achieve salvation or whatever the hell it is it's offering you, rather than a good reason to believe in things? Shut up, me. It's Matt's turn.
Alternately, let me ask this. A minute ago, you said that in your case, because you acknowledged that you couldn't provide an evidence-based argument for God, in your case, that you didn't assume it, you got revelation. What was that revelation?
It came to me actually in church. I submitted myself to Jesus, and God revealed himself to me in church, in a service.
Yeah, what was the revelation?
that Jesus is Lord and that I should follow him.
How did it come? What describe it? I've heard sermons. It's not just a realization. You're saying it was revealed. What's that like? How do you know this? How do you know this was a revelation from God rather than something your brain produced?
Well, I mean, there was music in the church, and everyone was around me. All the people that I know and love were around me.
Are you just wasting? Are you just pranking us and wasting our time? Because you seem really calm and disinterested. And I just asked you how you tell the difference between a revelation from God and your brain making stuff up. And you started with, well, there was music. What the fuck does music have to do with my question? How do you tell the difference between a revelation from God and something your brain did that you don't understand?
I don't think you can.
And yet you have, because you decided that it was God. And you're now admitting that you've now decided it was God when you don't have a way to determine that it was. So you are voluntarily irrational and choosing something while acknowledging you don't have good reason to, and then propping it up as if it's a belief.
Well, but the faith in God, like, it all helped to get my dad better. It improved his life and improved our life.
Yeah, you're not for real. You're not for real. I want to congratulate you on making it this long by pretending to be something you're not, because when you just hop right back to the beginning of your script. So we're going to let you go. Thanks for raising some money for Recovering from Religion. Would you like to say donate to Recovering from Religion before I let you go?
I had some things written down in front of me so that I could follow, like, an idea of what I wanted to talk about.
I'll take that as a no. All right. So I'll say it. Donate to Recovering from Religion. The microphone's probably going to move pretty soon. Appreciate Forrest was like, I'm going to let Matt cook. It was fun because there's kind of like, we just had a three-way. I mean, the three of us in a tag team. But the thing is, when you're trying to argue for your God, the second you acknowledge, which he did earlier on, that he doesn't have any way to demonstrate this. And he also suggested that there were independent truths, that just the fact, not just the fact that we see things differently, but that those are different. Couldn't tell you whether or not Islam was true or not as well. Couldn't tell you whether these other things were true because he doesn't know enough about them. But that also means you don't know enough about your beliefs to know what it could or should exclude. By the way, we're at $24,350 right now after that last donation, which means we're $650 away from $25,000. And I don't think Jimmy's going to let us, sleep when we hit the $25,000, but I definitely know he's not going to fucking let us sleep before we get to $25,000. So Jimmy's been popping it up there. There's a 650 thing. I'm going to just kick off a random call. I'm not even going to read what it is. I just click talk at random on there. And so we have Mew calling from Alabama. She, they, scrupulous OCD and religious trauma. Hey, Mew, how are you?
Oh, hey. Oh my God. I was not expecting at that particular moment to get my
$650 right now, and I'll hang up on Mew and be mean about it.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, Mew. I'm trying to raise money, but go ahead, continue.
Shut up, Matt.
I'm so glad y'all are doing a fundraiser for Recovering from Religion.
Yeah. It sounds like you're calling in that you also. So here's what I want to say just from the caller notes. I want to give you a word of caution here, and I hope nobody interrupts this because this is actually important. You do list to the screener, I don't want to say it out loud, but you listed a neurological disorder you have and that you're calling in about severe religious trauma. I'm sure we can go ahead and discuss some of that, but this is actually why you would need to call Recovering from Religion. None of us are what's the correct word? None of us are practitioners of the neurosciences. We are not therapists in any way, and we aren't even a substitute for therapy. So the best I can probably say is it's probably best to also not trauma dump on the call because you don't know who's listening and how hard that could be. I would say more we can maybe discuss, I don't know. I guess I'm going to let you talk now, but know that there's going to be a hard limit on how far we should go on this and that we should mostly just recommend you utilize that resource if you're not already.
Definitely. See, I'm not a professional or anything either, but I'm definitely a nerd, and I have a psychology degree, and I was also going into social work, trying to go into mental health, and it comes from a really personal place because I have OCD, and I know people talk a lot about religious trauma, but I also would like to see a lot of discussion.
I do have to jump in, and I'm sorry because I'm too distracted even. So the funniest thing has just happened, people. Two things have happened. I love Misty Nipples. Misty Nipples has just donated the $650 we needed to clear the $25,000 mark. We are past it. Misty, thank you so much, and thank you for doing it during my turn. The funniest part of it was that she didn't actually donate $650. She did this earlier. She donated $656 because she wanted to make sure I understand that she is donating for two reasons. One, to cross us over that line, and because she supports RFR and she supports our support of RFR. Two, she fucking hates the logo. She wants that fucking logo gone so hard and so bad. And Misty, I hope we can find a couple more donors like you so we can hit that 150 grand mark and get there. Now, if somebody doesn't donate $5
so that
right now,
I don't have to hang up.
Yes, that too. Oh, that's true as well. Mew, if you'll just go ahead and go ahead and give us that final point there, I think it's going to automatically move to Forrest because I think we're getting past that minute mark. But thank you again for calling. Sorry that this is so. Mew, I'm almost even worried about this call because it's so chaotic. This seems like it's going to be a serious call. And I almost want to just ask you if we can put it off to a different day, because this is not the kind of thing I would want to give chaos to. So if you just want to encourage people to give to the fundraiser, I feel like there's no good way to not do this irresponsibly. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I understand that. Mostly I did want to call in because I just wanted to, tell people about religious scrupulosity, OCD, and it's very hard. You can look it up. You can talk to people at Recovering from Religion about it. It's a really hard thing to go through, but it's real.
Heck yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely people
anyway,
look into it.
Thank you for taking my call.
And make sure that you always consult with a professional about whether or not you have something before. Always, we should add that. Things can sound exactly like us, and it's okay to proceed going, ooh, I see this. I knew I was autistic long before I got diagnosed with it, for example. But it was important as part of my journey to get that confirmation, because diagnosis has that word die on purpose. You can't do it yourself. You can start a journey yourself, and I definitely give everybody with the resources. Go on.
I was gonna interrupt whether it was my mic or not. Mew, you're fucking awesome, and I really appreciate you waiting as long as you did to talk to us for as long as you have and to share your story a little bit. I hope the people watching this can hear from you and just know that they're not alone more than anything, because the biggest thing that the atheist community at large is missing is community, and people like you help bring that out. So I definitely agree. As you can see right now, this method, this show, this platform, this style sucks for this kind of conversation, and it would be doing you and everyone else watching a disservice to continue for too long. But I just want to I just want to tell you that I appreciate you for calling in and for waiting for as long as you did and for hanging out and for bringing this up. Thank you very much for being you. Seriously.
Oh, thank you so much. I wanted to call on at a different time, but I really just wanted to kind of mention it. And thank you so much for taking the call. I really appreciate it. I love you guys.
Well, we love you too. Call that next time Jimmy or Matt actually have some time to talk to you. I am the worst person to talk to about this, but call in sometime we actually have time to really sit down and dig into it.
Okay.
Can you tell everybody to donate to Recovering from Religion really quick? Oh, Shannon would be great. Yeah. Tell everybody to donate to Recovering from Religion really quick.
Donate to Recovering from Religion right now. I would donate the cost of a sub sandwich in honor of Roland if I had the money right now. Just do it, please.
Yes. Best caller of the night. Thank you very much, Mew. I appreciate you. Have an awesome rest of your night, okay?
All right, you too.
Bye-bye. What a nice person, genuinely. And thank you so much to Godfrey dropping in $100 just then as well. Let's move on to Aaron. Pronouns he, him, who says that there is perceived hypocrisy in scientists in gender identity. Ooh, girl, I got some things to say. Aaron, you're on the line with Forrest and Only Forrest. How are you doing today?
Oh, thanks. Doing good. Thanks.
So tell me what
you
mean with your thing here.
Okay,
Tell Matt what
that
you mean.
sounds a little strange. So, a couple of things. Everyone should presume that I, of course, am an expert in absolutely nothing. I'm just a dude. And secondly,
I'm sorry, they switched to me, and I'm the rude one. And right now, I want to push my finger up to your forehead and do skip intro, and that would be rude. Plus, you're also not here in person, so skip the intro.
Sure. My deconstruction really started with recognizing what the Bible was saying about homosexuality, and that didn't really match the real world. And through my deconstruction, I've come pretty hard to the scientific method is how we know what is real in our universe. And
so,
but then,
yeah, I'm going to speed things on a little bit even further. What are we getting to? What's the main point here? What's the meat of this? Is that you don't believe scientists when they say that sex and gender are different things? You don't think that scientists know what they're talking about? Like what is it that you're saying you're incredulous to here?
Yes, particularly, but then when someone declares that their gender identity is whatever, the declaration of that is my proof, right? And that I accept that their gender is whatever they say they declare it to be, right?
No, that's not the proof. That is just fucking courtesy. Is that if you're talking to me right now, you don't know what's in my pants, you don't know what my sex is, anything like that. I'm telling you that my pronouns are he, him. If you call me she, her, I'm gonna say, hey, fuck you. That's kind of rude, and we're good. And like that's all there is to it. As far as what the proof is, you're talking about a social construct here. And so, like, at the end of the day, what you have to remember is that self-identification is a crucial part of social identity in general, not just talking about gender. How do you know whether or not someone's actually Republican? How do you know whether or not someone's actually Christian? How do you know whether or not somebody else is actually a Second Amendment advocate or whatever? It's because they tell you. You're not going to put them in a brain scanner and flash a bunch of images in front of their face and try to figure out what their brain actually says, nor are you going to sequence someone's DNA or check what's in their trousers or put them in a brain scanner or any of these other things that you might conflate with gender. At the end of the day, what they tell you is the best data that you have in a normal interaction, so you're going to have to go with it if you don't want to be a dick.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I see what you're saying. And I guess that's specifically maybe what I've been doing wrong is, I guess my hang up was that I am giving, that I'm giving some reality to that based on their testimony. And that was sort of throwing up warning flags. But that's not really what we're doing.
You're treating gender the same way you do.
We're treating them properly.
Yes, you're treating gender the same way you do any other type of social identity. Not every social construct. Different social constructs have different rules. But gender specifically, you are treating in the same way that you would treat any other social identity. And that's crucial. Now, as far as sex and gender being different things,
when Forrest was actually talking a minute ago, he made a good point, which is, and I think we're all really close to the same page, because when you said, "Oh, the proof is the self-identity," and Forrest, I was nodding my head because, listening charitably, I'm assuming you're saying that's all the confirmation I would need on how I should treat them. But Forrest is right to point out that doesn't prove the underlying thing. Just like me saying I'm hungry doesn't itself prove that I am hungry, but that's a distinction that we don't tend to make most of the time, because the only context in which it matters is if I'm telling you I'm hungry, you either care or you don't, and there's something you can do about it, or you don't. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what, and I could sit here and stuff my face as if I'm hungry, even if I'm not, which now on the Manjaro, I'm never fucking hungry. But yeah, it is about courtesy. It isn't proof of the claim, but it's those claims that we fundamentally know we're not going to be able to dig in and prove. Just like, are you hungry? Are you in love? Are you lying? There are some that we can get to through other things. And most of that has to do with how people act and interact. But at the end of the day, if I look exactly like this and tell you that my pronouns are she, they, and my new name is Loretta, that's just the way it is. It doesn't prove that any of that's true, but if that's what I'm telling you, I'm expressing a preference. And I think you already knew that. You just, like, you went sideways one way, and then Forrest, in making that point about it's not proof, which was great, went the other way, and I tried to merge us.
Forrest got the mic.
It's me now.
I'm high.
So does that make sense to you? Is there any major issues or hangups with anything that we've said here?
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
And just to run through the rest, are we on the same page that sex and gender are different things? Do you agree with this?
Totally.
Okay, and are we on the same page that gender, at least, like sex, we can have the discussion, but are we at least on the same page that absolutely gender is not a binary system?
Yeah, totally. It's a spectrum.
All right, shut up. I guess you guys already got kind of through all the stuff, Aaron. If you were more combative, I was going to go down a line of like, Aaron, are you attracted to men or women or both?
I personally am attracted to women.
Sure. If I told you that I identify as a woman, does that force you to be attracted to me?
Not at all.
No. And so if you know that the outcomes for people who are transitioning, who believe their gender identity does not comport with that which was put on their birth certificate, the outcomes for them are better, how about you just, like, realistically, it's funny because I am happy to dedicate for the trans people I care about, because I actually know trans people and that issue matters. I'm willing to dedicate a show every week on this channel to that. But for the majority of people, it's like, realistically, how is this affecting your life at all? Just leave them the fuck alone. Leave trans people alone. Their outcomes are better when they're given, when they are allowed to transition, when they are accepted, when they're given community, they aren't ostracized by. So if it doesn't affect you, who gives a fuck? And I think a lot of trans people, and let me speak for them since I own one of their shows. I think a lot of trans people will tell you they just want to be left the fuck alone to have their lives and love and live and shit like that. And so you worrying about validating their identity in the same way that I'm not going to worry about validating. I don't check people. If a person tells me what race they are, unless they're obviously being a dick, I'm not asking for a DNA test of that, even if there is a biological core way you could prove whatever race. Just let people fucking be who they want to be. Arden, did you want to put I'll give you my mic if people for a moment, since you're.
Well, that's good because your time just ran out. No, you guys did great. I agree with all of that stuff. Like, and it sounds like caller is on the same page with us. So call Transatlantic sometime. Caller, shut up, Forrest. Shut up. Call Transatlantic sometime. Forrest.
Men are talking.
Oh my god, I'm gonna mute Forrest. I'm gonna mute Forrest. Forrest no longer has a microphone at all. Caller, you should call my show, Transatlantic, 2 p.m. Central Time on this channel every Thursday if you have any other questions, because that's where actual trans people are answering these questions. So go for that. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, y'all.
Trans supremacy. I have the mic, so I assume I can talk. I didn't tell you all people, there is a third rule. Arden can put the mic wherever the fuck she wants. So.
Your time ran out, and it is technically Forrest's turn, but I don't know if I've decided to give him back the power to speak yet. So, okay, you can have it. Go for it.
I wanted to make my bid like $27 for cis het male rights or something like that. Just let's go. We got 3 callers left, it seems, and so we're gonna see like how much delicious donations we can extract from these ones. Let's start with Diego, pronouns he, him, calling in all the way from Mexico, who's a theist who says that complexity equals God, or at least that's what I'm seeing here. Maybe it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Diego, you're on the line with Forrest and only Forrest. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Forrest. How are you? Oh, by the way, I'm
never had a bad day.
New Mexico, not Mexico. But,
no, all right. Well, hey,
so my argument,
I was going to let you hang out with the old one. I'm not trying to judge.
That's okay. So my argument basically is that a biochemist posted a video and he explained that the complexity of life, or like the single cell organisms becoming or evolving, I guess, into more complex and multicellular organisms. But one of the main things that kind of stuck in my brain was his thing on ATP and how the cells in our bodies exclude that ATP, while other cells, like plant cells, I guess, they take it in. So his kind of thing was
I've got a limited amount of time with this microphone, and I want to talk.
I know,
So
I'm
what's
sorry,
the
I'm trying
main?
to think, I'm sorry. That how can a cell that has to have energy going into it, how can that cell have evolved to put that energy out? Because if it's putting the energy out, then isn't that like a dissonance, pretty much? That's my question.
So fundamental major misunderstandings with what the cells are and what they're doing and all these things. But like, here's the reality of the situation is I can sit here and break down like cell biology for you and like explain like, so ATP is adenosine triphosphate. It's a chemical energy that pretty much every cell in your body uses to function on and just to survive and to do basically anything. It is made in mitochondria for eukaryotic cells. And both plant and animal cells use it. What you may have been talking about in that thing is that plant cells are able to make energy by themselves. They're autotrophs. They use sunlight and carbon dioxide and water just to make as much energy as they need, whereas animal cells have to eat other things in order to get the glucose to make that ATP. And so like you have this balanced system, and a lot of creationists will say, well, that balance is too difficult to have evolved in the first place. No, it's fucking not. But the point is, even if I didn't know any of that, even if we didn't know shit about shit, the major issue here is that this argument boils down to, I don't understand how this works, therefore it must be magic. And that's not how science works. It's not how scientific thinking works. It's not how logic works. I don't understand why that's good enough for you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a very good understanding on this at all. I just thought it was interesting. But
you don't have to. You don't have to. Because at the end of the day, like,
I would like.
There's a lot of creationists who say things about what we call irreducible complexity, and they'll point to things like eyeballs or photosynthesis or the bombardier beetle or whatever other thing that seems really, really important, like complex and amazing. And they're like, this can't evolve because if it doesn't have all these conditions and blah, 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 blah. And all it is just saying, I don't know, so magic. And you need to demonstrate that there is a God. Then you need to demonstrate that this God can do these things. You need to demonstrate that he did do these things.
I'll also point out, in addition to the stuff Forrest said, that something I've noted over the years is that complexity is not the hallmark of design. Simplicity is, efficiency is, nature is lazy, and so are we. And so we don't recognize that a watch is designed because it is complex. We recognize that a watch is designed because we have zero examples of it occurring naturally.
My 66 came in right as I was writing my new one. Thank you, Sprawley. Yes, we literally did, didn't we? I don't know. I don't care. It's late. Fuck Forrest. By the way, Diego, I think that Forrest was committing the same problem he was committing before, which is letting you go down. He does it a lot. He's kind of bad at this. He's going down a line that fundamentally, at the best, you could call a god of the gaps. Is what you're doing. You're basically saying, if you were totally right, where it's like, we don't have an explanation for all of this complexity. So, at the end of the day, why would not having an explanation for complexity mean therefore God? An answer being short, one word and only 3 letters, doesn't make it a better answer if that answer then itself breaks down as the answer of God does itself. And it seems interesting because when it comes to these complexity arguments, it seems then you have to start going through some versions of the Kalam. Guys, I need $5 and no one donate 33. Fuck Forrest. Let's do several $5 fuck Forrest dollar donations here. People like you seem to then start appealing. Oh shit.
Thank God. Diego, does it make sense what I'm trying to get across to you, that even if you don't know a thing, that's no reason to just assume a magical explanation?
I will admit it does it is logical.
Okay.
That kind of thinking.
Okay, so now here's the other end. I'm sorry. I usually would give you more time to talk, but in this particular show, I've got to use every bit of time that I have here. The other end of it then is also, we do know for sure, do you accept any part of evolution, or do you reject all of evolution?
I accept evolution as a process, but
okay.
Every process has to have a process starter, I guess.
Right.
Kind of
evolution doesn't describe the origin of life. That's not what evolution is for. That's called abiogenesis. That's a totally different thing.
Oh, right.
So
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So we know for sure evolution is a thing. Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. Abiogenesis, it states that.
Shut up, Forrest.
I don't know what it states.
Honestly, hey, so you actually have me back, Diego, and I actually want to pull it in again, because I'm not particularly interested. It's funny because you actually went sort of in the direction I was saying, that people like you with these the complexity arguments, it means that you're eventually going to either bring us back to a cosmological or a Kalam argument. And you basically did it. You basically went with, well, no, you said it has to have a starter or whatever. You're basically saying that everything which exists has to have an originator. Everything has to have a cause, correct?
Yep, that's my point, yeah.
But then is it not going to be the case that when I say, great, what is the cause of your God, God will have the exception of the cause?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you don't actually believe everything needs to have a cause. You believe everything needs to have a cause except for your God. Whereas we can sit here and go, all we know is that the universe seems to present this, everything needs to have a cause, but we have no way to account or say
that at the end of the day, you are doing special pleading, and all I have to do is say the universe doesn't need a cause, and it means the same nothing. By the way, what abiogenesis says is that life started from non-life, that non-living material eventually became living material, and that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense when you understand the building blocks of life, where they come from, how we've seen them form, and what life actually is and how it actually works. So what is your actual hang up here? Because at the end of the day, it sounds like you're just committing both the special pleading fallacy and the God of the gaps fallacy, saying, here's some stuff that I don't know, and therefore God is magic and God can do whatever the fuck he wants, and all the rules that I lay down don't apply to God because God's magic and God can do whatever he wants, without ever taking the time to actually care whether or not this God is real.
Okay. Can I introduce you to the hand of God dilemma with abiogenesis? Because every experiment that I have seen on abiogenesis, it pretty much it contradicts itself, because there's a scientist who's trying to do something. He's kind of
that's
forcing it to happen. He's putting in.
That's not true.
Or he's setting up the conditions.
That's not true. We have seen that is not true.
Yay! So first of all, you're not going to speak anymore. I'm going to talk about lizards right after I call you a liar, because you couldn't even tell us what abiogenesis was, and then you started describing what's happened in every version of an abiogenesis experiment you've ever seen. So for those who don't know, Arden and I run an Epic Loot Exotics. We breed reptiles, and we have 20 species of snakes, but we've recently started getting into lizards, which was something I never thought I would. And along with the dwarf mountain horn dragon that we've got, and the green forest dragon and bearded dragon and things like that, there are a number of lizards that reproduce asexually, parthenogenically, or some lizards can reproduce parthenogenically, and some species are entirely female, which means when the Bible says male and female created he them,
shut up, Matt.
There's a creature here that God didn't create.
Shut up, Matt. I feel that the number of things you don't know about abiogenesis could fill a library. As far as your assertions about the experiments, again, that's just an appeal to the God of the gaps. At the very end of the day, I need to know why your candidate explanation with no evidence for a God which doesn't have to have a cause is greater than the candidate explanations, though still in hypothesis and experimenting phase, but the math adds up.
Shut up, Jimmy.
Physicist candidate
The thing you have to remember is that what you just said is fucking wrong.
Just answer him real quick.
Oh, hold on. God damn you, it's my turn. What you said earlier when I was talking to you is wrong. It is not true to say that every single one of these experiments always had somebody fiddling with the dials. Remember, there are 4 major macromolecules that make up all living things, and those are proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. Those are made of individual monomers, namely amino acids, simple sugars, fatty acids, and nucleotides, or nitrogenous bases. We have found all of those things in way more abundance than you need for life on Earth in fucking space, where there aren't any scientists fiddling with the knobs or contaminating the vials. It happens in space all the time. And the point is, even if that wasn't true, even if we didn't know anything about this, filling in the gaps with magic is dumb, because we know way more about abiogenesis than we did 30 years ago when creationists were saying we don't know anything, and you can't tell me where amino acids come from, and you can't tell me where nitrogenous bases come from, and all these other. And then we found all this shit on asteroids and comets and whatnot, and they clearly are happening naturally. They're self-assembling through natural processes, and we see it in the lab and in the field all the fucking time. And now creationists are saying, well, you can't solve homochirality, or, well, you can't solve polymerization, which we also are solving that as well. So at the end of the day, what creationism always does is say, I can't explain this, therefore it's God. And then when we explain it, they say, that's so complex and beautiful, therefore it's God. There's no escaping it. Your God is an ever-receding pocket of stupidity and ignorance until it gets so incredibly small that it just explodes, and now God's everything again. And you have done both of those things in this call. You're not thinking scientifically or seriously about your claims.
Okay. Can
let me follow up with a question. If I could produce life from scratch in a jar in front of you, would you stop believing in God?
Probably not. Probably not.
So why did you bring up abiogenesis as a reason to not believe in science and to believe in God if it doesn't fucking matter in the first place?
Well, I just wanted to hear your opinions on it.
Right. My opinion is backed by the best research we have. You can look up NASA's Astrobiology Primer version 3. The newest version is free online. It is the single most cited peer-reviewed journal with everything that we know so far at this moment about abiogenesis published free for anybody to read in plain English. You could check it out, but it doesn't matter to you. You don't actually care. You just believe because you believe because you believe, and you're looking for reasons to doubt serious science so that you don't have to do the hard work of thinking.
Shut up, Forrest.
Why is that good enough for you?
Too late and on.
Yeah, there we go. Let me try something.
Okay.
Diego, how about you correct me for a change? I'm gonna see where we disagree. I care more if a claim is true than whether it's comforting. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree?
I agree.
Okay, so we both care more whether it's true than comforting. I believe that claims should not be accepted until there's sufficient evidence to warrant that. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I agree.
Okay. I believe that evidence for a claim isn't merely facts that are consistent with it, but details that specifically point to that particular explanation well ahead of any alternative explanation. Do you agree with that?
Shoot, Matt, you're going to hate me, but I kind of zoned out around you.
Okay. No, it's fine. I'm high. I'm
Too late.
probably zoned out.
I lost the mic anyway.
Yeah, there we go.
Yo, I just want okay, so Forrest asked you whether that thing would change your mind. So it's the thing you were calling and pivoting on. What would or could change your mind, since it seems to me you don't have a better candidate explanation? The question I was going to ask earlier is your better candidate explanation that there's a compatible with all of the science and math hypothesis that is going through the works right now of basically an eternal universe, that the thing before the Big Bang was in fact eternal. What is better about your supernatural version than the one that is consistent? But I'd rather know, if that's not going to change your mind anyway, even if we did prove that one, what would change your mind?
can. So if you were to like prove to me that God didn't exist, is that what you're saying?
How could
Like
I
if-
prove to you anything doesn't exist that's magical? What could change your mind that it's a good idea to believe in God?
Shut up, Jimmy.
Actually, I'm going to ask a similar question. I want to hear your answer to that.
I would say probably. Shoot, I don't know. I don't know what could dissuade my faith. I don't really know. I guess.
Right. So
I don't know. Someone kills me, and all I see is just a black screen at the end of the day. I don't know. But I mean,
are you
that's very
confident?
extreme,
Are
and no
you
one
at
can-
least willing to say that there is anything, even if you don't know what it is? Are you willing to say that you could change your mind under any circumstances whatsoever? Is there ever any way ever that you could stop believing in God while you're alive?
No.
Okay, well then what the fuck is the point of you talking to us? If you're calling to talk about this and like we're here to convince you that science is real and that this God is not, and you genuinely don't give a shit, you just believe it anyway, what's the point?
Shut up, Forrest.
Well, I believe in the promise of the Holy Spirit. And I believe that I have received the Holy Spirit and the peace and the love and the peace that comes with the Holy Spirit. I believe I have received that because it was, I don't know, it felt like it didn't come from me. It felt like it just popped out. But before I did, I asked for forgiveness. I asked Jesus for forgiveness. I made him Lord of my life. And the Holy Spirit came to me, just as the Bible had promised. So I want to ask you guys, all three of you, have you ever, at any point, actually had enough faith or had like
Diego,
100% faith?
Sure, Diego.
Have you ever put 100% faith?
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
Diego.
The mic's on me. So
yeah, but it's wrong because I got the 25. I think Arden walked away.
Oh,
I have to say shut up. Yeah, I got my 25. Diego, here's the thing. Yes, I not only did I speak in faith, I spoke in I knows, and I was a Mormon. Are you a Mormon, Diego?
No.
Guys, give me the $5. I've got a whole process to go through with this. Please let me cook. Forrest, put your board down. I need to cook. Okay, you're not a Mormon. Is Mormonism untrue?
You know, I'm not familiar with all the teachings of Mormonism. I have heard that they believe in Jesus Christ. So
is Islam untrue?
But
is Islam untrue?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is Hinduism untrue?
Yes.
Okay. Is Buddhism untrue?
Yes.
Are all non-Christian religions untrue?
Yes. Based off of the simple fact, or I should
Great.
say
No, hang on. I don't need to base anything. You've said nothing that we say to you could change your mind because your faith is so strong. Is it important that all of those individuals, no matter how strong their faith is, come up with some way to test it? Because if it is untrue, it needs to be revealed to them that it is untrue, despite how strongly they feel it is true. Is it good for don't no, Diego, fuck off. You are so being dishonest right now that you're pretending this is a hard question. Is it bad for false religions to exist?
Yes.
Great. So is it bad for people to believe in them?
Yes.
So would it be better for people with faith to challenge that faith with a way in which they actually say, I need a good reason to believe in this more than faith, because that would mean that people who currently believe in untrue faiths like Islam would be able to have a chance at, for example, adopting a true faith like you say is Christianity or whatever the truth is?
Well, like I said, you know, the Holy Spirit
this
only
is a
comes
yes or no,
to you
Diego.
if you have
Diego, this is a yes or no. You don't get to say what the Holy Spirit does because there are versions of the Holy Spirit in all these other religions. They say it too. Is it good for people to have a way, even if they have really strong faith, to counter their faith narrative just in case it is untrue because you currently believe many people are doing just that? Is that good or bad? Be honest, Diego. Stop with the silence. It is the thing that would make people who believe in Islam stop believing in Islam, and then they could potentially believe in Christianity. Would that be good or not?
Shoot. Can you say the question again?
Would it be good for people who have faith so strong in religion to come up with something, a mechanism by which they can still examine if their religion is true or prove it to be false? Because there are so many people with strong faith of false religions that a person with a religion should go beyond faith. That way they can be released from an untrue faith and potentially believe in a true faith or other truth. Like in your case, you believe Christianity is true. It would free Muslims, Hindus, all those people. Would that be good or not?
Like to self-examine your religion? Yes.
Why are you exempt from what you guys can put your bids back up now. Why are you exempt from that? Why is it good for thee, but not for ye? Why should faith not be good enough for Muslims, not be good enough for Hindus, not be good enough for Buddhists, as you have just acknowledged that should not be enough for them, but you have said it is enough in isolation for you to never question your faith for the rest of your life? You can answer that however you like. I don't even care if I get the mic next, because you just got destroyed. Your whole premise, everything you just called about, got destroyed, and there is no non-hypocritical way for you to defend what you just said according to your own words if you come in and it stayed consistent with your values. So good luck trying. I don't even care if I continue to have the mic.
Goes Forrest.
Hey. So Diego, on the back of that, can you agree that you believe in this God for fucking awful reasons?
No.
Okay, I would love to hear your response to Jimmy's Gambit then. I'd love to hear your response to Jimmy's Gambit then.
Reasons I wouldn't say.
Explain how your faith is any different than any other person from any other religion, and how it makes yours in isolation good, even though you just said that what you are doing shouldn't work for any other belief system.
Could you frame the question a little more simpler?
Yeah. Why are you allowed to think dumb things for dumb reasons when you don't think that anybody else should be allowed to do that?
Well, I don't believe just because I believe. There's evidence that I have seen.
You do.
You believe.
You do. As you have stated multiple times during this call, you do. See, that's the thing, is that we actually listen and we pay attention when people are speaking. And so, you have said that you just believe because you believe. You have said that the belief system that you follow wouldn't work in any other way and wouldn't be good enough for any other religion. You have said that the objections you have to this, to atheism or naturalism or evolutionism or whatever else don't actually matter, because even if you didn't have those backgrounds, even if I could demonstrate fully to you that all the things you think are a problem, it wouldn't change your belief in God. You have said that under no circumstances could you ever admit that you were wrong. So why should any of the three of us take you seriously when you literally just spent that entire time with Jimmy saying that the way you think about God doesn't work?
Shut up. Yeah, Diego, the fact of the matter is, he's already tried to get it down. I don't know that we can show you you're wrong anymore. You believe that other people should examine their faith and not rely on faith alone. You then gave I've had these personal experiences. So have they. I've never met people more faithful than Muslims. There's a reason why they are disproportionately more willing to radicalize. And let's be honest, in higher numbers, it doesn't represent all Muslims, but it's a higher number of Muslims who are actually willing to go die for their faith than, say, Christians are. They're extremely faithful, and it's because they believe in the exact same reasons. And I agree with the thing you said before. I'm just not a hypocrite about it like you are. Faith should not be enough. Anecdote should not be enough. I have experiences from my past. You were asking about our own faith. People, keep the $5 going if you want me to go in, because this story is actually pretty good. But you guys can put your bids up. I don't need to cook on this one. You guys, I had experiences that I used to only think were explainable, and a lot of it was just my own ignorance. So whatever your personal experience of ghosts or whatever, the things that I thought were the most powerful turned out to be sleep paralysis. The things that I thought I used to pray to God
Shut up,
ask
Jimmy.
him to help me find things. Go ahead.
It's you, Forrest. Jimmy Rent lost his time.
Oh fuck! I'm over here drawing this thing. Yeah, at the end of the day, dude, like I find it incredibly difficult to continue taking anything you're saying seriously. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think you take it seriously either. I think you're fucking around, but this is making a lot of money for charity, so I've kind of kept it going. But like at the end of the day, I can't take anything you're saying seriously after you just said that you don't think these are good reasons to believe, and you just brought up the fucking Shroud of Turin offhand, which, I mean, fuck, man, that sucks. That's lazy as shit. So I think you're lazy in your thinking. It absolutely is not. And if you cared even a little bit, you would see that this is thoroughly debunked nonsense. How do you know?
Thoroughly debunked nonsense, though? It's not a medieval forgery.
Radiometric dating shows that it isn't as old as people say it is, and also like bloodstains don't work that way.
Have you heard of the newer method of dating cloth? Of dating linen cloth?
As for me, I've worked with a lot of cadavers, and we've wrapped them in a lot of cloths. Never once in my life have I seen that perfect fucking print.
Bored now.
Yes.
Say goodbye, Diego.
Say goodbye, Diego. The energy that was released by the resurrection.
Say goodbye, Diego. Say goodbye, Diego. Oh, that wasn't Jimmy. Now if you ever want to get on again, you have to call back and apologize first. All right. That was just so nobody has any incentive to try and get Forrest to keep talking that guy in circles for another hour. Here's the thing. We went through all of the, I can't demonstrate it, to, I have faith, to, we went right through the entire, there's like 75 clips that Arden should be able to get out of there, except that they ultimately all boil down to the exact same thing. I don't have a good reason, and every time you show that I don't have a good reason, I jump to another bad reason, or I say I don't need a good reason. This is fundamentally what most people do. There aren't that many people who spend their time studying this stuff in great detail. And of those that do, there's the academic side, but then there's also the social side. And this is a good time to remind everybody. We are now $26,141 towards a goal of $60,000 for recovering from religion. An organization that isn't debating, an organization that isn't running around getting political, an organization that isn't being involved in the various dramas that take place in the secular community because they're focused on helping individuals. Whether or not you think religious trauma syndrome is a real thing, it is undeniable that people coming out of religions and people dealing with religions are suffering and often alone. And organizations like Recovering from Religion help alleviate that in many ways. Not only do they need your support by donating to this fundraiser right here, not only should that thing say $26,300 before I stop talking, not only are you able to donate financially here and at their website, but they also need volunteers to help out. And I don't want to forget that. For all the people who are like, hey, I'd love to donate, but I don't have any money, we understand. I don't trust the economy for half a second. I don't know what the hell is going on. I already donated more than I had originally planned to do. But
shut up, Matt. Love you.
You can volunteer. Love you too.
I'm going to stick with what you're talking about. I'm going to stick with what he's talking about too. And by the way, it's also worth noting that if you were watching this later, while all of the goals have to be met by 9:00 tomorrow night, which the sooner the better, and we have stretch goals, so we're not trying to wait until 9 to see if we hit 60,000. We also, though, will have it open for the remainder of the month that you can donate more. So there's never a time when you're listening where you're thinking I have $5 that you shouldn't. I remember Arden saying earlier, if you could skip a Starbucks, skip it. But actually, if you could skip all of your Starbucks, then you're doing two things. One, a month of Starbucks is what, $150, 200? You're giving the best $200. The way that could be spent, the RFR will spend it better than anybody else. And two, you're not giving to a shitty Zionist company. So like double trouble, fuck Starbucks. And that $200 is perfect. Give that 200, but in the meantime, you can give it anytime, any amount. We do have a couple more calls. I think that's what we're saying is going to be the end of the show is once we're through them. These ones will be pretty quick, but yeah, for sure. Don't eat at Starbucks. Don't look. I have cut Starbucks out of my life. Now, is that because I only can eat 5 foods for health reasons and Starbucks doesn't carry any of them, or is it because I hate them? It's a little of both. Fuck Starbucks. I don't know. Is the thing going to run up? Are people going to start spamming $5 to keep making me talk just to see if I can come up with things to talk about?
The timer is actually at like 3 minutes. I forgot about it because we weren't on a call.
Let's say I have 20 seconds left. Look, people, the fact of the matter is, if you give them $1, they get the whole dollar. First of all, RFR gets the whole thing, and nobody stretches dollars better than RFR does. They will use every single one of those dollars. And if somebody donates $300, I will let you all put the most unhinged, objectifying messages in
Jimmy?
chat.
I drew this. It says his name is Meowbert.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Zerba a little bit better.
And Zerba was great, but you should donate for my incredible artwork. This is what I contribute to the line is random ass biology knowledge and incredible doodles. So check it out and smash that donate button. Recovering from Religion is an incredible organization that helps real people in the real world, not just here on the internet where we live. There are real people who are suffering with religious trauma, shame, guilt, fear, all sorts of things, and they help not only with peer-to-peer therapeutics, but also with actual professional therapists. So donate what you can. Every little bit helps. Every dollar helps. If you think that you have to donate $500 to make a difference, you fucking don't. You can donate $1, $2. You can call them and volunteer. If you don't have any money to donate an evening. Donate, a couple hours of your time. Those things are valuable too. You are valuable. And by contributing to this organization in any way that you can, you are contributing to the value of the people around you. You are contributing to their lives. You are helping make them happier, make them safer, make them healthier, and make them better members of society because they're able to fucking survive, y'all. So please donate to Recovering from Religion. They're an amazing organization. We love them very much, and we're happy to support them. Let's move on to one of our last callers, who is very poignant at this moment and has been waiting for 2.5 motherfucking hours. Let's talk to Megan, pronouns she, her, calling in from Mighty Dicks, who wants to talk about how she herself has benefited from recovering from religion. Megan, you're on the line with Forrest and only Forrest. How are you doing today?
JK,
Hi,
it's Matt.
Forrest, I'm good. How are you?
Never
He's
had a bad day.
done. He's a loser. He doesn't get to talk anymore. Hey, Megan, what's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
Hi.
I'm gonna be that after this call.
Awesome possum.
So
yeah, tell us all about it.
So yeah, I mean I've heard you guys talk about RFR before, but last year when you guys did your charity stream, that's when I heard about the excursion, and I was like, oh, I could go to that because I felt like I didn't really need to call in and talk to somebody, but I thought, go to the excursion and, because I was still a relatively new atheist and I felt like, it was hard to find community. I also wasn't really comfortable with coming out to other people as atheists as well. And going there, it really showed me just how how big the community actually is. Because, you know, you think about, you know, this is America, most people are going to be Christian, and, you know, you don't realize just how many atheists are out there, and it helped me find community, and it helped me also deconstruct any woo beliefs that I still had, and yeah, it also had a really big emotional impact on me as well. There was one night where there was a big bonfire, and we threw stuff into the fire and talked about you know, different things like how your life has changed after religion, or how religion affected you. And yeah, I talked about how going there, I finally found community, and you know, I became more comfortable afterwards coming out to people as atheists, and it helped me realize also that there were other people in my life who I didn't realize were atheists. So, you know, if you're deconstructing from religion, or you're a rather new atheist, you know, just know that you're not alone, and RFR is a really great resource. And you know, you should go to an excursion too this September. It was so much fun, and I can't wait to go.
There you go. There is probably the best advertisement for the value of RFR that we could possibly give. And thank you so much, Megan, and especially for hanging on hold for so long and then being eloquent to put forward that. Yeah, if you have the opportunity, by the way, to anybody of you out there, to volunteer, to help out, and then attend an excursion, do any of those things, you can see the value of recovering from religion. And I appreciate you. That's amazing for you to wait so long through all of our shenanigans and bullshit and then be so awesome.
It was entertaining.
Yeah, and now he has to shut up. Megan, you seem great and stuff, but I have something else to do. I'm going to leave you on hold in case somebody else wants you. I don't know. It's not that I don't want you, but I have something else I want to do here. You're great. Thanks. Okay, Megan's on hold. Hey, guys, I just also want to bring up, we're closing in on like 26,500. I'd like to do a nice little surge, and I think I know the way because it kind of came up earlier. Y'all have seen this thing with that lady Shiloh, right? The person that awful woman who called a 5-year-old child the N-word and then started like a kind of, it's not GoFundMe, it's called something else. Just so you know, she is up to $750,000 from Nazis. So here's what the deal is going to be. Can we give us all 3 microphones again for a moment, and then we'll go back in? I'd like us all to be able to encourage people. Everybody who donates any amount, I'm not saying if you don't, you are a Nazi, but everyone who definitely wants to show with their money that they're not a Nazi, donate any amount for the next 5 minutes until 10:45. If you donate any amount, and we're going to be looking through and we're going to be calling out, we're not going to probably get everybody if everyone spams. We're going to do our best. We're going to be over here thanking everyone for not being a fucking Nazi, because I just checked that fucking goddamn fundraiser again. And thank you, Anonymous. You're not a Nazi. Charlie Carrot's not a Nazi. I cannot tell you how fucking mad I get every time I look and it's gone up. Forrest is not a Nazi. I got to switch my other count. Yeah.
Jamnik has one of my old guitars. Definitely not Nazi.
Thank you. Hypa, yeah, not a Nazi. Kyle's not a Nazi. Oh my goodness, we're getting any amount. Seriously, people.
There you go.
Again, if you don't
thank you, Sprawley and John Paul.
Fantastic, guys. What if we can
Colton
get
Robinson's definitely not a Nazi. Joe is the same amount of not a Nazi as Colton. But Four Moogles is way more not a Nazi than some of the others. Some of you are way less not Nazis than some others.
Okay, wait. Shit, that literally just made me decide I have to increase my donation. I can't afford to keep doing too much because, contrary to what Forrest would have you believe, not rich.
Forrest isn't even talking. Who gives all my Viscara, Katrina, not an expert witness, Candy.
The one thing we learned tonight is that Misty Nipples is the only person we know who's more rich than Jimmy.
I'm not convinced Misty Nipples isn't Jimmy.
That's true. That's true. I drew a big old plate of spaghetti.
You never know. We're at 26,963. The donations are coming in so fast it will be at 27,000 before I can even finish this sentence.
Oh,
boom,
and we did it.
There we go.
27.
Up to 67.
Guys, let's keep proving what not a Nazi we are. Because again, I love this. Thank you all so much who's been doing it so far. A few more. Dude, Devin, you are not Nazis. Krenich, you're not Nazi. Josh, you're not a Nazi. A lot of you. You guys are so not Nazis. Bobtail Trucker isn't. Jesse Clark isn't. Ray Gatto's not. Here's the thing. A Nazi still has $750,000. Does that not drive you fucking crazy? And this is a person who started with, I want to say it was like a $50,000 goal or something lower. She keeps putting it up. This is a person who has the audacity to be that hateful, that much of an Aryan princess, and now is basically trying to get a new home out of the fucking deal, and all of this extravagance. I'm not kidding. The goal is set at $1 million. The company that runs the website, this is my understanding of why it looks this way. They actually had to remove first people being able to put messages, because guess what it was? It rhymed with Bile Bitler. I wish there was some kind of gay euphemism I could have used there, but they were putting shit like that into the messages. So they had to stop allowing messages. Now they've also even had to make all donations anonymous, but they won't just take it down because people were using the names of famous Nazis as their thing. And I was looking a little bit ago. There was a single individual who gave $10,000 to this piece of shit. There was other individuals who were giving $5,000, $4,000. Of course, you know that there were a few $1,488, which if you know, it's a Nazi. It's basically a Nazi dog whistle. Anyway, who wants to call out some more? Why don't we just we're at 20,253. Okay, we said we were going to do this by quarter till. We can give it a few minutes. We're going to keep calling out who isn't a Nazi. Let's get to 30,000. I don't see why we couldn't. Could we not show we're not Nazis to the tune of $30,000, which would only require another $2,750 right now, $2,750. Can we do it? We'll keep calling out who isn't a Nazi. You guys, I really have to pee. I don't know if you guys ever get hyped up and pissed off to a soapbox that raises your energy and it makes you need to pee.
Just go pee. I don't need any more intro. Just go pee. We've got it. Mike B donated $50 in Canadian money, which I got a nasty email from somebody just the other day about how terrible it is for me to mock Canada. And I'm like, well, please come back to reality. Brent H, $5
I got a nasty email because
real money.
I keep calling Canada a terrible frozen wasteland every time I talk about it, and I've gotten at least one email, I think two though, from people saying like, "How dare you? We have your beautiful place." I only do it more.
LA Silver Surfers, Jared Bear again, Mr. Monopoly, yes, Anonymous and SJL. Seljo's definitely at least 5% not a Nazi. Corman Corbin again. Moonquaker, Sarah Talks podcast. Yeah, that's a good way to advertise your podcast. I should do that more often. If you guys change your name to whatever your podcast is, you just donate money and I will end up saying the name of your podcast, like Sarah Talks podcast. Or I think Forrest is starting a new podcast called The Reach Around Hour. Ayla Ursus, definitely not a Nazi. Louis Morales, Gildery. Is that right? I try to do it with the GI1DERY, but there's a donation that confirms.
I think it's glittery.
Is it glittery?
It's GL1, so that's an I after the L. Glittery.
Silly Spaghetti's definitely not a Nazi. And you know what? Nazi Dave is not even a Nazi. And that's the world we're living in right now, where you can donate $20 and have your name be Nazi Dave, and we will say Nazi Dave is not a Nazi.
Yeah, I mean, he's donating to anti-Nazis.
Holy crap. Vermindolin Sentience Rectal.
Imagine making
You're just
that
barely
account.
not a Nazi, and fuck you for having that name while I'm this distracted.
Imagine that. Also, let's do another fun thing, because we've been letting you all send coded messages since we don't have super chats. Matt Walsh made a video defending that this is a good thing because it's defeating cancel culture all in one go. So any donation that ends with a 9 means fuck you, Matt Walsh. Okay,
there you go.
9s are fuck you, Matt Walsh's. Get those $9 ones in. Let's get to $30,000 saying fuck you, Matt Walsh. In fact,
$30,000, $9 at a time. But remember, if you put 99 in there, that's only 2 9s. So you're only saying fuck you twice. If you wanted to say fuck you 3 times, it would need to be $999. It's not, just get to use multiplicative. We're talking about individual characters for the signal. So I'm saying if you really fucking hate Matt Walsh, that's 999.
I really, really fucking hate Matt Walsh too. Y'all see that fucking that piece of shit also who then went on Piers Morgan with a bunch of other people. And when they were like, wait, so do you say the N-word? Yeah. And she was like, yes, I do. When it's appropriate, I do say it. And they said, when is it appropriate? She's like, whenever I feel like it is. And then asked if she is a racist. She said, yes, I am. These people are getting so fucking emboldened. And I cannot I cannot tell you how, look, they can't politically say anything as far as they're definitely not endorsing people. They don't have a political agenda. What I'm here to tell you is that good skeptics teaching people, putting people on a good path to good skepticism and good recovery from religion is anti-white supremacy. It is. And so you are investing in anti-white supremacy. RFR is awesome. Please, more $9 donations. I'll throw mine in. Like a German rejecting the Nazis, I want to see 9999999. That's what I want to see. That was hilarious, people. It wasn't that good, but it was okay. I want them nines. I really did. That was literally, I had to pee so bad because I got so mad. You never get so mad you need to pee? Is that just me?
Man,
am I gonna die?
I do. I am hankering to bust the hottest of Wazzes right now, but I feel like no matter how excited I was, it would be the same.
Andrew,
you know what I mean?
Andrew Devonshire and Colton and Ayla, they all hate Matt Walsh. Yeah. So I'm old and diabetic and on medication that makes me pee randomly at emergency. So it no longer ties to when I got upset. It's just boom, I got to pee and now I got to do it.
All right, if somebody donates $99 right now, the three of us will answer the question, how many times you have to get up at each night to pee. I will tell everybody here, for me, it's not the number 0. We're just going to give averages. Mine's not a 0. So it might be an interesting answer, and it might be a fun thing. All three of us will answer, on average, how often we get up at night to pee. But I really do want to see. Guys, can we do it? We are literally
entertainment that people want to hear.
Let's just, okay, for the moment, let's just get to 28,000 and then we'll do this one step at a time. People, would you spam the $9 fuck you, Matt Walsh? Obviously, we want the Matt Walsh fuck yous in there. But right now, all we need is what? $229? $229 is what we need. Is that roughly 30 people, roughly like 25 people to send those $9 in? Go ahead. Right now, we need $206 because you know what? God is a terrorist, not a Nazi. God is not a Nazi. That was me waving, for example. By the way, I was not Steve Bannoning you just now. Not a terrorist. LA Silver Surfers, not a Nazi, and says fuck you, Matt Walsh. YouTuber Grudge, fuck you, Matt Walsh.
Yep. God is a terrorist.
I totally agree with that. We need a mere $197. Let's just go ahead and get to 28,000 and let's force Matt Walsh and that Nazi ass. I'm really trying to make sure I never use.
Wait, there's the $99 donation right there.
Hey,
Corbin wants to know, on average for me, I get up once a night to pee, and that.
Ooh, I admire. Forrest, what's
I don't
your average?
sleep a lot.
When I sleep, sleep pretty soundly through the entire night and just wake up and piss in the morning.
Guys, I don't know what this says about me. I've been to the urologist. We've checked it, but I'd say 2.5 is the average, but that means there's several nights in a row where I'll have one that I'll wake up once. And then I have nights where it's 5 times. It's wild. And like, even now I've been drinking water because my body gets dehydrated super easy because of stuff I'm going through. But it's so late that I know that tonight's going to suck, that I'm having to still drink water, but I keep feeling myself slip out of hydration. People, did we do it? We are a mere $62. And Wario's, Jamnik again, Ryanku, Corpseman Corbin, Mr. Supalova, Hypa again, all want to say fuck you, Matt Walsh. Let's make that Nazi asshole Shiloh and her Nazi buddy Matt Walsh do something good by accident, and let's hate donate on their behalf. F Baxter, fuck yeah, says gives $9. Another $62 to get us over that. We are over the $28,000 mark. Here's what we're going to do, people. I think we're going to take our last calls And I would love it if you guys would keep. We'll give more shout outs before the thing is out. All the people who are showing that they are not Nazis. I'm going to get riled up about Nazis again tomorrow. I just know it. But everybody here showing that they're not Nazis. Let's keep those coming in, and let's see if we can see tonight $30,000. I would hate it if we do not see $30,000. Little pun there. I don't want to not see 30,000. Anyway, let's see. You guys want to put up your bids for who's going to take the golden mic again while we do the last call sections? Maybe we can
we should thank Megan. We should thank Megan for incredible patience before we move on to the last one.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I've been trying to draw a dog this whole time, and I'm not doing a good job. I keep coming up with something all wonkus like this, and it's not working out.
Mr. Kiki's not a Nazi. Guys. Does somebody want to pick Megan back up, and we can say thank you, and then we'll give our bids?
Yeah, I'll talk to Megan.
Megan!
Hey, girl. Thank you for waiting for so long, and thank you for being cool.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to do it. And also just want to say really quickly, fuck Nazis, fuck racists, and fuck Matt Walsh. He doesn't know what a woman is.
Oh, I thought you were saying fuck Matt.
$10 to everybody who wants to agree with... Send exactly $10 if you agree with fuck Nazis, fat Matt Wall. What was it? I forgot it all. Everything that Megan just said. 10 exact dollars if you want to the agreement gesture. We can't clap, so we send exactly $10.
Yep.
What was that sound?
That was me ripping a piece of paper off. I whipped up a quick dog. But yeah, I know what a corpsman is. I was in the Navy for 8.5 years.
Nobody apparently agrees. Ugh, this audience loves Matt Walsh unless somebody donates $10. Oh, Jamnik there's with the $10. All right, at least somebody. Yay. At least somebody. Megan, did you have anything else before we let you go here?
I guess that's it. Just donate to RFR.
Hell yeah!
Awesome.
Right on. Cool person, Megan.
Are you still trying to draw a dog?
No, I'm drawing a something else now.
We'll see you, Megan.
Okay.
Okay, here's the funniest thing. I'm going to put my bid up, but the last call is directed at Forrest. So it'd be a lot. It would be very much the funniest if Forrest doesn't get the call. It's a thing for. And actually, I'm going to tell you, it's positive toward Forrest. So if I get the $29 to get the golden solo mic, I'm going to take the call and I'm going to try to talk the guy out of it. I'm going to try to talk the guy out of the sweet things he has to say to Forrest. That's what we're going to do here.
Forrest, put your bid up.
I put my bid up at 99. They're going to try and lowball you, but this is double hating Matt Walsh and Nazis.
I drew a cumbrumber.
That's not a thing.
A cumbrumber?
It's a cumbrumber. I had to go get a green marker for it.
But you're supposed to put a number up so that we can. I mean, the last caller here,
Forrest is crashing
has been waiting for an hour, and Forrest is in the middle of falling asleep before the call. You guys have to bid $99 so that I can take this call. I'm the only one
$1 less
that's going to be properly respectful of this caller and recovering from religion. Don't you dare put Jimmy or Forrest in. Give me the $99 and let's get this fucking ball rolling.
I promise you,
I'm
the
tired.
best order that this could go.
I'm high. Why? We all have a mic. Give me the $99 just so these other guys have to shut the fuck up.
Oh, gave it to me. Quick, somebody give it to me. It's going to be way funnier.
All right. Thank you so much. I am not going to take the call. Y'all, I want to tell you how great Recovering from Religion is and how terrible Jimmy Snow is. It's a great show for you to donate to and remind everybody that we care about
the $99.
Hey.
But I'm going to continue that. You should definitely donate to Recovering from Religion, just like Anonymous and LA Silver Surfers did. They so desperately wanted me to get to this call that two of them jump in on that, which means you guys shouldn't talk for the rest of the fucking night. Xavier, he is an atheist calling him from minimal isolation. And you say you're an atheist and you want to give Forrest credit? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, his argument did change my mind, so it
Yes, but hang on, Xavier. How many other people heard that argument from Forrest?
I don't know, but now that I think about it, Jimmy should get the kudos because it's his show.
No, you should get the kudos. There's 1,000 other people who heard him say the same shit and they didn't change their mind, but you did. So take credit. You did this. You were willing to listen. You were willing to investigate, and then boom, own it. This is one of the values of not being a part of religion anymore.
I'm dying for this. I got it. Okay, here's my argument, Xavier, for why you shouldn't be giving him credit. Xavier, imagine being a creator so full of yourself that your ego inflates to the point that your fans absorb it and they would call in to make a stream about recovering from religion, about how great they are. That's how awful Forrest is that his fan is calling in right now to be like, hey guys, I know we're talking about RFR, but shouldn't we bring this back to how great Forrest is? His ego, oh my God, they say my ego is big. I'm so this far away, I'm almost getting fucking knocked over right now. Xavier, you're calling in to kudos this guy? It's RFR night. What is wrong with you two? Thank you also for giving me credit because my show. I actually really like that part of Xavier. How dare you? How do you respond?
My response would be that recovering from religion is a great thing, but there is such a huge mound of misunderstanding and misinformation. There was a barrier to critical thinking I never would have been able to cross if I did not spend the last 2 years listening to Forrest, Valkai, Jimmy Snow, Matt Dillahunty, all y'all. Just
first of all, it's Forrest, Valkai, and Matt Dillahunty. Second of all, I am not held responsible for the actions of my fans.
My $26 just came in, so you have to pass that mic to me. And I just want to ask you one quick question.
Yes, sir.
Who to OG?
At the table, you.
There you go. Jimmy is about to scream. I'm OG. You should take credit for yourself. I will admit, these guys are not bad. They do make some good points on occasion, partially because they listened to me for years before they got started doing this. But I want to hear you say, I did this, and I did it because of what others did and because of my own will.
Shut up, Matt.
Oh, and it came in right under. Hey, Xavier, I have a question for you. Who signs the OG's checks? Who signs his checks, Xavier?
I don't have any evidence for that.
Well, it's not a literal signature. I click submit on ADP, to be fair. Who pays the OG, Xavier? Oh my God, I was dying to scream that when you did it.
That's really
because
funny.
as the
Jimmy,
shut up, Jimmy. You don't understand the fact that the actual OG is it's not me in any sense of the word. But hi, I'm Forrest Valkai. I'm the youngest person here, and I'm very excited to be I'm on the fucking logo of the channel. Is the most important thing to remember is that Jimmy Snow loves me so. Yes, the logo right now is me and Promise. Because we are the best people on the channel.
How dare you? You can't say that about Promise.
Matt's fantastic, and then it's me and Promise, and Jimmy all the way down there on the bottom. Let me tell you, Matt's been doing this longer than anybody. He has been debating about Jesus since Jesus walked the earth. But Jimmy's just kind of been here, just hanging out, doing whatever, and not really trying very hard. He tends to just kind of throws these shows together haphazardly and just allows, geniuses like Matt and idiots like me to meander in here.
Get up, Forrest! Matt, it's you.
Oh, I was about to put this up. Thank you. I'll just leave that right there because he signs, but I earn. Yeah, so I genuinely, though, all bullshit aside, Xavier, I'm excited anytime I hear about somebody changing their mind. And I'm thrilled whether you got it from somebody who's really awesome at this like me, or somebody who's like Forrest.
Matt Dillahunty is the OG because Christopher Hitchens is dead. That's what I was trying to come up with the meanest, shittiest thing I could say, and that was pretty much what I came with. Yeah, we're all cosplaying Hitchens, man. No, man, I got to tell you, actually, with my minute before, and I'll probably lose it. I don't think anybody's going to pay to let me continue cooking. Is anyone else weirdly grateful that Hitchens died because they're worried about what his takes would have been on some of stuff today? Yeah, I'm like kind of low key glad we didn't have to see Hitchens on the post woke world. Maybe he would have been. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he would have been the one who was like, Dawkins, this is the hill you're going to die on. But boy, I'm glad. There's something.
It's like if Dave Chappelle and J.K. Rowling died like 15 years ago, we might have had a better timeline.
Yeah, clearly time travel hasn't been invented because there's a lot of people that don't make sense. Or
were the reject timeline, like Australia's, like where they sent the criminals, we get sent to this timeline to die.
I aspire to die at just the right time.
I just want to say Jimmy wouldn't have checks to sign if it wasn't for Matt Dillahunty promise and me fucking around on this channel. I'm here purely for the love of the game. I don't make a tremendous amount of money on this show. I'm just here to be the weird, funny uncle that Kramers his way into every. I've never seen Seinfeld, but I'm pretty sure the word Kramering in means like bursting in unexpectedly and just causing general mischief and confusion. And that's what I try to bring to this shit. I try to bring weirdness, and I try to bring just general just confusion. And let me tell you, if it weren't for me, I don't think that Jimmy would have half as much fun because he calls me and says ridiculous things. I call him to harass him about things that he's told me 30 fucking times already, and I have already forgotten by the time I hang up the phone. He calls me to be sexually inappropriate with his employees, and together we're a big happy family. But I think the most important thing here is, damn it,
there we go. I didn't even see the donation come in, or did you just do that because I said so?
He ran out of time. He ran out of time.
Oh, well, hell, I had this up because the truth is, if it weren't for the woman down the hall, none of us would be here to discuss anything or do anything or be talking about checks. And yes. Jimmy's going to ultimately get the credit, kind of like Henry Ford when he, created the Model T, but it's not a Ferrari. And that's what we're driving now because Jimmy's about almost a billionaire now. How many Ferraris have you got to go with the houses that he keeps buying? It's absolutely wild. Xavier, I want to give you a chance before they take the mic away from me to get one last statement in and to support and encourage people to donate to Recovering from Religion.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, I have to take it away from you because I got the mic and I have to defend myself against one thing. Hey, Forrest, you said the thing about without that I wouldn't. I can't remember exactly how it worded, but the implication was that Jimmy merely owns it, couldn't have built it. And you guys, he's right. When I started the line, I mean, sure, there's the contradictory information that I had more subscribers than anybody else on this channel at that time, and I had the most popular atheist daily watched YouTube channel in the world. And on top of that, my individual income on that channel was actually more than some of the months we make for the whole company here. And that actually I decided to stop doing that because it was eating at me pursuing views and that because I believed in this. And that when I moved here, I had a choice between the two channels. And I actually chose the line where I knew that my personal income would get cut down to like 20% of what it was. And that if I was pursuing riches, I would have done that because I was kind of on that role. All of that aside, I couldn't have done it without these guys. That's true though. And actually Arden's the most valuable person at this channel. I just want to point that out. Arden's the most valuable person here at the moment.
True MVP.
Oh yeah.
Mike to Forrest.
I probably would have been rich.
I didn't have to wait for the 25. Just to make my point incredibly clear, I drew a giraffe. That's what I've done for the channel today.
Okay, now that's competing with Zerba. That's on the level of Zerba. I can tolerate Graph. Graph is great.
Yeah. Xavier, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you waiting for as long as you did. I think the most important thing here is what Matt said at the beginning, which is that you deconstructed, you found your way out. We may have helped, and I'm honored to be a part of that, but you did it on your own, and you deserve all the credit. Congratulations to you. I see the last time you called in, you were a deist, so congratulations to you on your deconstruction. You're awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of our community, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Take care, Xavier. Have an awesome rest of your night. We'll see you later.
I didn't get to. All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Oh, did you have something else you wanted?
Oh, I wanted to briefly mention the thing that had genuinely convinced me.
Oh, what genuinely convinced you? Sure.
I mean, the line that I hear repeated often throughout, but ironically, the line doesn't matter that to you the things you believe are true, and that would always eat at me. But I feel like there's an amount of people like not the last caller, a caller before the last caller, who genuinely just aren't looking to change their mind, and they'll need to navigate that themselves. But people like me who was just not able to access actual information or be outside of a cult where your dad says he's Batman and can talk to God. It was an insane world to live in. And through being exposed to your critical thinking, not just on the line, the work you guys do, recovering from religion, it did save my life. And I mean, I'm really sick now, but I want to help give back to this community, and I appreciate you guys.
Sorry, well, Matt's not paying attention. He has the mic.
I'm
there you go.
paying attention. I appreciate you saying that, and we're very. I think I can speak for all of us when we say we're thrilled if anything we've said has proven useful to somebody, whether it rises to the level of saving lives or not. All of us are here because we care about the truth, and because we hope that other people can and will and would benefit from it. So thanks a ton.
Xavier, you're awesome. And I really appreciate that. And condolences. I mean, like, I'm sick, so I get it, man. That shit sucks. I do have a thing I have to respond to from the live chat in the same way that I like to undermine people's arguments and make them sound dumb when they say dumb things. I know I'm being a little egotistical, but someone said, you sound Elon. Jimmy be rich and thinks that's good. Tell us more, Mr. Capitalism. You seem to have missed the rant. I am, in fact, not rich, despite I basically chose a path where it wasn't but I love to tell us more, Mr. Capitalism, because one thing that even Forrest will admit was the reason why he actually started working at the line was when he found out that I pay on about as socialist of a model as you can possibly conceive of to work here. Everything is worked on profit share, while individual hosts make more from the episodes the revenue they host. Everything else is paid on equal profit share according to the amount of labor you put in. We basically have a point system. So if Matt does 4 shows and somebody who isn't at all a popular creator otherwise, or isn't even much of a creator, we'll say Eric, because he doesn't do much on his channel anymore, does 4 shows, the profit share that they get from our Patreon, from our merch, from everything else, and first of all, they get literally the same amount. If Matt and Eric do a show together, they also get the same amount. So it's literally... everything is done. We do essentially, here's the amount that we take for the production side. Here's the amount we take for the host side. It is literally, if we became a socialist country tomorrow, the only thing that would change is that I wouldn't have as much power in the company as I have right now. Fundamentally, it is the most socialist model of any company I've ever fucking heard of ever. So eat my ass, whoever called me Mr. Capitalism. Okay, let's close out there. Let's go back to 3 mics. Let's do one more anti-Nazi round and see if we can close out that 30 grand. Again, Xavier, if you're still on there, thank you so much. You're the man.
Y'all are the man and women, and thanks. You guys are awesome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'd also like
you said it said it said he him in here. So sorry if I misgendered you in any way.
I'd also like to point out that it's never mind.
I'm just gonna let Xavier will let you go there. Thank you. All right, go ahead, Matt.
Well, doesn't matter now. I was also going to say that it's in my contract that I'm not allowed to rebut any of the things that Jimmy just fictionally made up about the pay structure here.
We're on a strict NDA to not talk about how much money he makes.
Guys, yeah, you've done great so far. You know what's my favorite part is the producer. I can let me think if it's yes, every single month in 2025, Arden has actually made more money than my personal take home was. Just for the record, Arden's the rich one. Let's all shit on her.
I drew a snail and I put him on the beach. He's got a little umbrella, a little sandcastle, a bucket there. Here's a snail.
It's a snail. I do love being accused of being a capitalist because I'm literally, I love it more from Republicans who are like, you say you love socialism, but you were, and I'm like, I can put my money where my mouth is more than anybody you've ever fucking met.
That's because you've got more money and more mouth than anybody.
Yes.
It's actually it's the only food I'm allowed to eat is money. So I have to make sure to put the money where my mouth is. Hey, everybody, can we do one more round of absolute? Do you all know how close we are, by the way, to 30,000? If we just did what we did last time.
Donate for the drawings, at least. Donate for the artwork.
Genuinely, less than 1,500 away, I think we could do it.
How good are you at like caricature quick drawings there? Either of you? Can either of you just make whatever?
I can't draw for shit.
Did you make?
Yeah, I'm terrible at drawing, as I have shown.
I was hoping one of you could make your animation punching like a Nazi cat or something. If you could just add a Nazi cat to it. For the record, the cat punched first, just to make sure all bases are covered. The fascist cat punched the snail or whatever first. It is cool to beat Nazi violence with violence, but we're just covering bases here. We're covering bases.
The lesson of World War II.
Everybody who wants to say fuck Nazis, let's go ahead and send in those $9 right now. Don't forget, anything that has a $9 in it means fuck the Nazis. Remember, that Shiloh lady, 9 in it means fuck Matt Walsh. Anything from here on just means fuck the Nazis, because Nazis are literally raising money for one racist piece of shit woman who was literally calling a neurodivergent 5-year-old the N-word and then felt empowered to defend it and has now felt empowered to keep raising her limit on her. I can't remember what it's called. Go send me or something like that. It's like GoFundMe. Send go fund something. It's very similar.
I don't understand the world we're in.
I don't like. I would honestly get it if she raised 10 grand. I'm like, sure, that number of Nazis exists, but like 750,000, and to have the company go, we're making so much money off of the fees on this, we don't want to challenge it, because that has to be what's at the core. As though like this means that you are now a Nazi platform. Like nobody's going to use that platform that isn't a Nazi from here on out. Are you thinking that that's going to sustain? Because let's be clear, and this is going to sound misogynist, but I stand by it. She's succeeding because she's hot. How many hot Nazis does this platform think there is out there that are going to be this successful? And how long is that Nazi train going to last? The word Nazi train was maybe a little insensitive, but I can't. Sorry, you already said it, man. I don't understand the world we're living in. I don't fucking get it.
It's terrifying. I joked when I didn't joke the other day. I was like, every day I got to wake up and find a reason to keep going. And luckily for me, it's the fact that I'm not alone. I'm not just responsible for myself, and I am not sitting here having to take care of myself on my own. I've got Arden, I've got you guys, and I still have. What I'm trying to do is find some little bit of hope out there. And then I hear a story like this. It's bad enough that a vaccine denying garbage disposal is running Health and Human Services, and that you've got the Alcoholics Fox News dude that doesn't have any real qualifications running the Department of Defense and leaking stuff and using unsecure platforms or whatever it is. It is a parade of unqualified people, and the stupidest person and least honest person that's ever been president. But setting all that aside, setting aside the politics of, ooh, here's the administration, what's going on? Yes, I'm going to complain about it. I don't know how we get there. I don't know how we can sit here and just we went for science denial, right up flat earth, anti-vax, everything else. We then go to denial of any facts coming out of the official, that's the official government story, until who's running the government changes. And then all of a sudden the official government story becomes real. Oh, it's Biden's economy if it's bad, and it's my economy if it's going better. I'm going to do this and this and this, and none of that shit happens, and nobody cares. And now you have people blatantly, not just, it doesn't surprise me that somebody called someone the N-word. It surprises me that not only are they defending it publicly and bragging about it, but talking head media producers, content creators are backing them up because of free speech and more clicks.
Yep.
We're sitting here. It's late. We've been going for hours. We're not going to make $750,000 tonight. I'd pretty much bet my house that we're not going to make $750,000 this weekend. And last year we raised $60,000, and I wound up, amongst other things, getting a tattoo on my calf, which I genuinely love. I love the picture. I love what it means because of what we did. Somebody earlier today asked if I was going to be getting another tattoo. I don't plan to get another tattoo, but who knows? If Forrest draws something really cool and you guys donate enough. But one of the things that Arden and I talked about beforehand is
pretty cool.
I hate this new trend of mustache, the return to the mustache. I fucking hate it. I absolutely despise it. When I was in the Navy, I was only allowed to have a mustache, and you had to request permission to do that. And because you can't.
Scott.
Sweet. Oh, 29,000. Awesome. You can't wear a gas mask. So what I'm going to do, not at 60,000, because 60,000 should be the bare minimum goal that we're striving to hit by the end of the night tomorrow. But if we get to 70,000, I'm going to shave and keep the mustache and keep my face shaved and let the mustache grow for at least a month. If we get to $70,000, any of you that want to be awesome and mean to me, you need to start donating right now, and don't stop until it stops feeling good.
Understand,
we
people.
Hit my goal, which
need...
Well, go ahead.
Before you say it, we have 1,129 of you watching. If 10% of you give $10, we break 30,000 for the night. So can we do that? Can we get 100 of you to go ahead and give it? We crossed 29,000. Obviously, thank you so much. People, $10 a piece. That's what we're looking for, $10 a piece. But if you can only do $1, 10 of you do $1, that relieves one person. Let's go ahead and break it out, and let me go to fucking bed, because I'm already not going to sleep well tonight, because my brain will know you got a show tomorrow, so you need to sleep, so you're not going to sleep well. The sooner I start trying, the sooner I get the 3 hours or whatever I'm going to fucking get out of it. I'm not going to be good tomorrow. You'll all see. And then I'm going to be even more mad about Nazis if they could.
There you go. Charlie Carrot. Thank you. And Anonymous. And Forrest, what?
Thank you, Forrest.
I think that says Tommy Valkyrie.
Tommy Valkyrie, yeah. Smeckle dork. You know how cool it's going to be. You guys do this.
Earlier on, I said I would straighten my hair for a thing and be emo Forrest. I should probably wait for it to grow out a little bit to really get it on there, but I will definitely do that for a show. We should hit a number. I'll stop shaving for like a month as well, and just let the gross, scraggly, patchy, prepubescent neck beard that I've got going on.
I don't believe you'll keep to it. As far as things that bug you, I don't think you could do it.
We're starting at noon. We are starting at noon. That is it's 12 hours and 40 minutes from right now, which means when all of us are done here in a little bit, we're going to go get some rest. We're going to be back at noon, and we're going to have a goal set there of $60,000. And you already know that we are not only expecting to meet it, we are going to push it. How much easier and cooler will it be to show up at noon tomorrow, starting off at $30,001 already raised up before we even get started. And we're already, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Her ladyship, anonymous, we're at $29,331. That's $669.
Oh, well, somebody hit that 69 right now. Come on. Who's going to hit the 69?
Donate something.
69 with us.
You can hit the 69 from the front, from the back. That's the nature.
He's got some cool shades, and he's a little disco room there with like some 90s geometry. I drew this while we were condemning Nazis, and it didn't feel appropriate to hold it up at that time.
I'm literally, I'd have gotten like some pigs are more equal than others vibes.
Yeah.
Hey, Ellipsis came through with that 69.
There we go.
Ellipsis. Oh, Ellipsis. That is an amazing donation no matter which way you look at it. Nothing? That's not a great pun. That's not pun, but that's not an excellent joke. 69 is great no matter which way. Oh, whatever. Fuck this room. Let's just say fuck the Nazis. I can't get a fucking laugh in this place. I couldn't carry a laugh in a fucking mug at this point. That's not a real expression. I made it up just now. You gonna use it? Who's going to take? I can't get a laugh.
That was a good one.
Mug.
I think it was.
Thank you.
I think it was earlier on. Austin was showing how like if you put any weird ass phrase in quotes with the word meaning into Google, that the AI will try to come up with something. And so like he put something in there. It was like two dry frogs is a situation or something like that. And it was like, this is talking about platonic relationships and how like you don't have to have a sexual relationship to be good friends and all this or something else is about milk or whatever.
That makes sense.
And like it worked out beautifully.
I'm a wet frog. Oh, I swear. I swear. I thought you were going to turn it sideways and have the truck be the body of Elon. I don't know if you've seen those memes. But it is a weirdly true and real thing. People, we are so close and I need sleep so bad. We are a mere $531 away. And I'm pretty sure of that math, though now it's 529. We could do it. Who can get us that 29? But thank you to everybody so far who's proving they're not Nazis. And everybody who's proven that they think Nazis fucking suck. Fuck Nazis. By the way, also at noon tomorrow, we're going to have a disproportionately more European audience. Do you want them to be better at donating in that hour than this hour? The Europeans, they're all asleep. We can talk all the shit we want about them right now. The Europeans? I'm just kidding. Things are going a lot better over there than here. What am I going to fucking say? Like, not a lot better. That we're kind of exporting our fascism to them. Weirdly, they're not putting a tariff on it. But it's it's a whole thing.
That's actually one of my favorite jokes from today, which is something that we didn't really talk that much about. Vatican City got around tariffs by making an American Pope.
Oh, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Did you make your? Did you do that live recording of your American Pope on that episode, or
no?
Was that happening?
They didn't meet the donation in time, but we just got a $300 anonymous donation, which takes us to $29,774. What can
guys,
I do?
That was from me, actually. They said anonymous. I can claim it. Who can stop me? Just kidding.
He's rich enough for it. You can do it. You can spare
$211. What is it that I can do to get somebody to get us to cross that line?
I'll show elbow.
Offer up your stuff. Throw suggestions in chat as to what you want me to show a nipple. Oh, I bet we can't do that. I bet that's not allowed to like.
We already kind of pushed the line today because Sarah and I did audio erotica during our thing today. We were telling people they were bad boys. She actually is an audio erotica artist as well, on top of the other things she does. So she would, for $100, she would do, "You're a good boy," and for a 150 or 125, "You're a bad boy." For 150, they got to hear, "Hey, you are a bad boy, and I'm going to hit your ass with a magazine because you've been a bad boy."
I don't know what it'll cost to ship to you, Jamnik, but if you donate $211, I'll let you have one of the other guitars.
Wow. Goddamn.
Are we allowed to do that? I mean, because I don't want it to be a
between you and Jamnik. I don't know.
Let's not do it that way, because I don't want anybody to get in trouble for doing this. We'll talk later.
Yeah. Let's see. What are we off? 211. I see 205 now. All right. Well, here we are at 8:15.
Jim
Who's
Baker
gonna get
gets
us-
around it. If you make a donation, then he will give you a free gift. You know what I mean? So if this person donates, then you as a friend can personally gift them a guitar later on, and for totally unrelated reasons.
Plus, other people already donated, so now the 211 would be over that, and so
Yeah, we need $185.
$185.
Who's gonna give us $35? So we're only 150 away. Ooh,
Oh,
60.
there's a 69 donation. That's it.
I'll whip out those elbows, y'all.
That's them
Check out
finally
my-
laughing at Jimmy's joke.
Donate for that.
Never too late to laugh at my joke. Listen, sometimes I don't
Less
even
than
get to
100.
my own jokes until later. We are
$66.
away.
66. Oh, it's $50. That means we are $16 away.
away. Who's going to do? Everybody who donate the 16 and close your eyes to the chat if you're planning on it, so we can get a bunch of people to donate the 16. Just
Oh my God, damn it, just donated $100. Now we got to keep going until we're at $40,000 because you can't just go to 31. You just got to go.
You guys have a great time with that.
Thank you, Jamnik, for sending it over. You guys you guys are fucking awesome. I had a blast.
I didn't draw anything. Somebody who said draw a lizard.
Just now.
I'm not going to do it.
And there's a 211.
Jesus Christ.
See, I think what's happened is that some people paused at some point, and they're like 30 seconds behind, a minute behind, and they're seeing they're not up to live.
Just saw the fucking zebra, and they're donating for that. That's what it is.
Exactly. You guys are more awesome than we thought.
No matter who's talking, the stream is ending at 11:30. Arden's going to do it. That's 3 minutes from now. So the shout outs begin now. You have 2 minutes to put in as many as you can. And then whoever's talking is getting cut the fuck off. And we are going to bed. Thank you all so much for 30,000. We're at 30,314.
Thank you to our call screeners. Thank you to our mods in chat. Thank you to Faya Halo, who does all of our times. I was going to just keep talking on top of you. Thank you to Arden for producing. Thank you to all of the people who make this channel great. That includes all the people in the chat, even the ones that suck, all of our callers, even the ones that suck. Literally everyone here except for Jimmy Snow. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Promise. Thank you to Erica. Thank you to Alyssa. Thank you to Paul. Thank you to John.
I don't do it for the
Matt. People weren't fucking here.
Those
people took the night off.
Yeah, but they all built the channel to what it is. Literally all of us together, except for Jimmy Snow.
No, thank them tomorrow night when they show this, when they put up or shut up. Tomorrow night, you thank them. Thank you, Forrest, for answering the phone when I called you, because that got us $20 extra.
I couldn't find that clip. I was going to look for that.
Daryl Ray's in the chat. Not bad. Last year we started the event with 21,000 in the bank ready to go, and tomorrow we are starting at 30,000. Y'all just wait and see what we have in store for you. I'm very excited to figure out what we have in store for you, because I still haven't chosen all the games yet we're going to play.
Anonymous just donated 500 slutty ear coins. That's fantastic.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Arden, if the last words you say aren't shut up, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're thinking. Thank you, LA.
Well, now they shouldn't be. You don't write her jokes.
I think sometimes
LA
I literally
surfers
do.
Sending 5 simp coins. Thanks so much.
Oh yeah.
Hey Arden, what's your favorite lizard?
Emerald tree skinks. Go fuck yourselves. Oh, it didn't. The song was already at the end. Wow, that undermined all of the emphasis. Let's try that again. You guys are gonna stay here and listen to this whole goddamn thing, I swear. Wait, where's the audio button? Fuck. Hold on. No, we're doing this whole thing. You guys are sitting here through this. Damn it.
You are being mocked mercilessly.
Bum, 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 bum. What? The production's so bad. Is it Jimmy tonight?
No, that's the wrong one again. No.
Yeah.
I'm just